The following is a presentation of Girard Sports Live. It's time for Girard High School Athletics on Girard Sports Live. Girard Sports Live is presented by Croccan, your community technology partner. Learn more at ckt.net. Also by Ag Choice of Epler, American Family Insurance, Jenny Collins Agency, Bradshaw Collision Repair, Call Service, Community National Bank and Trust, Derailed Commodity, Diskins Auto and Towing, DS Construction, Evans Motors, Farm Bureau Financial Services, Farmers Bank, Girard Medical Center, Hydrex Appliance, The Jagged Edge, GN Bank, Larrett Ceramics, Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance, Lehman Realty, Mathis Drug, McClellan Sanitation, Norris Advertising, Producers Cooperative Association, and Roto-Rooter.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's time for Girard Sports Live.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome out to Fort Scott, Kansas for tonight's matchup between the Girard Trojans and the Fort Scott Tigers. I'm Josh Lettner. Alongside me, Jess Murphy. And the Trojans eking their way back into southeast Kansas after a tournament week up in Lewisburg. We're happy to have this one for you here on Girard Sports Live. Going to have a bit, as you can see by the clock, we're going to have a bit of an abbreviated pregame show. We want to let you know that Girard Sports Live is brought to you by Croccan, your community technology partner. Don't get bit by slow speeds and high prices. Get gigabit. Fastest internet in southeast Kansas with Croccan. See everything they offer at ruralfiber.org or check them out at ckt.net. We're into the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust, serving the area for over 30 years. Stop in today to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. That's Community National Bank and Trust, a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Jess, going to have a tough one tonight, both for the boys and the girls. Fort Scott girls 9-1 on the season. Their boys 8-3. Both Trojan teams come into tonight 8-2. And, of course, we missed that last game at the Lewisburg tournament. So, of course, the boys' side, double overtime thriller. And the Trojans come out on top by a bucket over Lewisburg. And Trojan girls got their work cut out for them tonight against Fort Scott, but the boys as well. Just quality programs on both sides of the ball here in Fort Scott.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a tough night for the Trojans, but nothing they can't overcome if they just play together and work hard.
We're going to step away for a quick break. If we can squeeze it in, we may cut it short. Well, you're watching the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show on Girard Sports Live.
Croccan has been serving the area for 70 years, and our employees are truly what sets us apart. Not only do they provide the best high-speed internet service available, they live and work where you do. They care about the company, our customers, and our community. They donate, they volunteer, and their investment makes us different. When you call, you get a local voice to solve your problems and keep you connected. We could not do it without their passion and hard work. Thank you, Croccan employees, for making us the best.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Missing that human touch with your bank? Come talk to a real person at Community National Bank and Trust. We're your local bank that's small enough to know you, yet big enough to offer the best products. Community National Bank and Trust, federally insured, locally awesome. Member FDIC.
Mathis Drug continues to be the area's choice when it comes to your family's health and wellness. New ownership, but the same commitment to community you've come to expect from Mathis Drug. Now offering medication synchronization. Get all your monthly meds at the same time at the same place. Mathis Drug.
Hi, I'm Bria Scheibe, pharmacist and new owner of Mathis Drug Store. Stop in today and ask us about medication synchronization.
Mathis Drug, still locally owned and operated. Call 620-724-4313.
A partner in your fields and in your success. That's what you get with Murphy Seed. Channel seedsman Matt Murphy knows your fields and can recommend the elite seed products designed to perform in your area, maximizing the profitability of every acre. With Murphy Seed, you'll get year-round, hands-on, customized service. To learn more, call Murphy Seed at 620-249-6419. Your partner at every stage. Matt Murphy and Murphy Seed.
Chicken Annie's of Girard is something to crow about. Their family-style restaurant continues a Southeast Kansas tradition with their specialty, fried chicken, plus famous homemade onion rings and a variety of other dishes that would satisfy any cravings, even homemade pie. Besides dine-in and carry-out, Chicken Annie's of Girard also does catering in the area. Stop in on Highway 47 in Girard for a hearty meal, and follow Chicken Annie's of Girard on Facebook for specials.
Hello, Four States. This is Jay Hatfield with Jay Hatfield Motorsports. We've been serving the Four States area with motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides, plus offering you parts and service since 2005. We have two convenient locations, Pittsburgh and Joplin, selling quality brands such as Polaris, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Can-Am, and Suzuki. Jay Hatfield has a huge inventory available for immediate delivery. We offer financing options and an extensive selection of accessories. Most important, we're making deals. Come in and get your fun started today at Jay Hatfield Motorsports in Pittsburgh or Joplin.
Welcome back to Fort Scott, Kansas. Getting set for tip-off here between the Trojans and the Tigers. We're in an abbreviated Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. Let's talk starting lineups. Jeff.
All righty, so Fort Scott's going to start out sophomore Abby Gorman, junior Allie Brown, senior Keegan Yorick, junior Kylie Comstock, and sophomore J.C. Rogers. And for your Trojans, they're going to run out the same five. They're going to go Maddie Kester, Riley Brooks, Peyton Brooks, Bailey Bradshaw, and Hayden Buckley tonight.
The starting lineups brought to you by the Jagged Edge. Trojans will start this game in style, but nowhere near the level of style you'll find at the Jagged Edge. Stylists Robin Hawkins, Ava Vietti, and Carla Sands will have you looking your best for your next big game. Make an appointment soon by calling 620-724-7500. Getting set for our opening tip. Starting lineups were announced to the crowd here in Fort Scott. Our opening tip brought to you by Larrett Ceramics, 503 West Maple in Girard. Stop by Larrett Ceramics for great gift ideas and supplies. Get creative when it comes to gift buying. Get your friends and family a beautiful ceramic piece or maybe even classes from Larrett Ceramics. Call 620-724-8442. Maddie Kester set to tip it off against Kylie Comstock for Fort Scott. Fort Scott controls the tip, and we're underway. Keegan Yerrick with it right down the lane, off the glass, and good for Allie Brown. Quick hitter there off the tip, and Fort Scott out to the early 2-0 lead. Applying some full court pressure here to the Trojans. They get it across half court ahead to Kester. Down low to Bradshaw, off the glass and good. Fort Scott with it now. This is Brown, guarded by Riley Brooks. Down low, tipped around. Fort Scott comes away with it, ends up in the hands of Comstock. Tipped around, back outside. And this is Yerrick with it, kicks it out, shot on the way, no good, tipped around. Yerrick gets the rebound, her putback no good, but she's fouled from behind by Bradshaw. So Fort Scott, the quicker team to the ball so far tonight, Jess.
Yeah, Bailey Bradshaw blocks one and had great position, just getting not great position on the rebounds. So Yorick makes her first one. And the second one is good as well.
Good free throw shooting to start out tonight for Fort Scott. They're out to the early 4-2 lead. Quickly down now, Buckley with it. Pass along the baseline to Bradshaw. She can't handle it, but Peyton Brooks will save it for the Trojans. They'll work it back around. Riley will take it from the wing, and she hits the three and the foul. 4-point play opportunity here for Riley Brooks. Gives the Trojans a 1-point lead. Brooks with an opportunity to stretch it to 2 right here.
And she does.
Quick 4 points for Brooks. Trojans with a 2-point lead. A quick swing there. Yerrick with it. She's going to be fouled in the lane. We'll head to the line. I think they're going to get this one maybe on Peyton Brooks. Yep, they do. It's Peyton's first. Second team foul on the Trojans. First one off the mark for Yarrick. First one high off the back iron, but Fort Scott again, the quicker team to the ball. Shot on the way, no good. Rebound, Kester. Maddie picks up her dribble way up top. Passes it off to Peyton Brooks. Now a cross over to Riley. On the right wing, back to Peyton at the elbow. She'll pull the trigger, no good. Riley with the loose ball rebound, no good. Now Bradshaw with it, trying to get it out to Brooks, but stripped away from her. Peyton comes away with it. Riley's shot blocked out of bounds by, I believe that was Comstock. Yep, it was. Long shot on the way from Peyton, no good. Rebound comes down to Yarrick, and they look to push. Ahead down the floor to Allie Brown, and she gives it up for the bucket. Tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Trojans. Fort Scott gets up and down the floor pretty quick, Jess.
Yeah, you're going to have to get back on defense in a hurry.
Riley Brooks with it over to Peyton. Now Bradshaw at the elbow. Needs help. Gets it back up top to Riley Brooks. He wanted to go down the lane but ran right into Bradshaw, so she'll back it back out. Buckley waiting in the corner. She finally gets it. Now down low to Bradshaw. Backs into the lane. Turnaround is good. 4 points early for Bailey Bradshaw. Trojans trailing it by 2. Quickly down the lane. Shot on the way from Brown won't go. Rebound, Kester. Maddie pushing it the other way to Peyton Brooks. Nice look to find Peyton on the run. Good assist by Maddie Kester. The Trojans by 4. Abby Gorman handling it for Fort Scott. Picks up her dribble. Gives it up to Rogers on the wing, looking for help. Shot on the way from Yarrick, off the mark. Long rebound, out of bounds. It'll be Trojan ball. I guess it's not a rebound if nobody gets it, Jess. It's more of a carom, a ricochet, if you will. Get my vocabulary straight. Raven Kegler into the game. Replacing Brown. Got this foul on Yarrick. That's her first. Second team foul on Fort Scott. Dry Adolph checked into the game. Pass to Brooks at the elbow. Tried to get it to Boatman. She wasn't ready for it. Bounced off of her, and we're going to have a held ball. It'll stay with the Trojans. Boatman with it on the baseline. Now picked up the dribble, looking for help. Gets it in the corner to Kester. She'll dribble out of traffic, back up to the top. Trying to direct some traffic. There's one thing between directing traffic, Jess, and just waving at cars, and not many people moved according to Kester's directions. Comstock's little turnaround 10-footer is good. Trojans lead it by 2. Full court pressure from Fort Scott. Brooks breaks it kinda. Fort Scott bench wanted a double dribble, didn't get it. Boatman back into the corner to Brooks. Dribbles into the lane, kicks out to Peyton Brooks. Steps inside, shot on the way is good, and the foul. 4 points for Peyton early on. Trojans lead by 4. She's trying to make it 5 right here.
So far, Trojans trying to match Tigers' intensity, getting to the rim and making some baskets.
In and out for Peyton Brooks. Lead stays 4. Here comes Yarrick quickly down the floor, trying to get a shot off. Poked away by Brooks. It'll stay with Fort Scott. 3:11 left to play first quarter. Shot deflected. Yarrick comes away with the rebound, and they're going to get a held ball, and that'll favor Fort Scott.
Yeah, I think Keegler's three-point attempt, someone got a little finger on it, it come up short, and good hustle Peyton Brooks to tie that up.
Kennedy Keller into the game for the Trojans, guard the inbound pass. Kegler with it on the wing, looking down low. Lob pass inside, tipped away. It's going to end up in the hands of Kester. Maddie's going to push. Now she'll pull it back out, and the Trojans will set up. Quickly, Riley Brooks, three-pointer on the way. No good off the front iron, didn't follow her shot, and then commits a foul on the open floor against Gorman. If you follow your shot, that's your rebound. That's Riley's first personal, third on the team. Both teams playing with 3 right now. A couple of substitutions. Claire McElroy and Aubrey Yarrick check into the game. Tipped out of bounds. Stay with the Tigers. McElroy will handle it up the floor. Gives it to Gorman. Gets the call in from the sideline. Yarrick with it up top to Rogers. Three-pointer straight away. Too strong off the back iron. Battle for the rebound. Fort Scott had 3 white jerseys around it. And I think they'll get a traveling violation as 2 Tigers collided on the play. And that caused McElroy to walk with it. So there are 2 Yarricks out on the floor right now, so good luck with that for me. There's a steal by Keegan Yarrick, off the glass and good. Trojans not taking very good care of the ball. Do a better job against this full court pressure. Here comes Adolph, handles across half court, and she's going to be called for a carry. You don't see that called very often, Jess, but I think it was a pretty good call in that case.
I agree. She carried it, but you're right. They don't call it all that often.
If they did, LeBron James would never be able to play a single game of basketball.
Man, got her way back here.
Yeah.
Odd spot to inbound the ball.
They do get it in. Yarrick with it on the baseline, elevates, shot on the way, no good. We're going to whistle a foul on Kennedy Keller. Keller's first, 4th team foul on Girard. Got 2 minutes here, only 1 foul left to give. Next foul, Fort Scott will be shooting 2. That one in and out for Yarrick. 2 for 5 from the stripe tonight as Riley Brooks checks back in for the Trojans, replacing Maddie Kester. Trojans on the floor right now. Adolph, Boatman, Keller, Brooks, and Buckley. That one goes down for Yarrick. She's 3 for 6 from the stripe tonight. Trojans by 1. Under 2 minutes here in the first quarter. These 2 teams kind of feeling each other out here early on. Boatman with it in the lane, kicks it back out to Brooks, passes on a three, down the lane for Riley, and that one's out of bounds. It'll stay with Girard. They're going to say the ball was touched, but Brooks wasn't, and the Trojans will inbound from the baseline. Riley will take that quick hitter three, no good. Rebound Erica Boatman off the glass, no good. And Yarrick comes away with it for Fort Scott. Trojans need to get down the floor quicker than that. As J.C. Rogers beats him down the floor, she's going to get the bucket and the foul with a chance to give Fort Scott the lead for the first time tonight with 1:32 to play here in the first quarter. Rogers did what you want him to do. She just immediately started sprinting for the basket when she sensed a turnover, and she completes the three-point play. Trojans got caught watching a little bit there. Try to get it ahead to Buckley. She handles the pass. Fort Scott able to recover defensively in that 2-3 zone. Boatman with it on the wing, back up top to Buckley. To Boatman at the free throw line. She'll put it on the floor, kicks it out to Brooks. Right idea, but Fort Scott doing a good job recovering in that zone. And Adolph will take a little 10-footer from the baseline, and Jariah hits her first basket of the night. We're tied at 14, under a minute to play now here, first quarter. Yarrick handling for Fort Scott. You definitely want to cut her off on the dribble. Good job looking down low to find McElroy, her first basket, and it gives Fort Scott a 2-point lead. Trojans still working against that full court pressure. Buckley will take a three off the mark. Rebound comes down to Allie Brown. Brown slows it down a little bit here as she's guarded by Adolph up the floor. Gives it up to Aubrey Yarrick, now down low. Shot on the way, no good. Rebound. Initially, Boatman had it, but then lost it off her foot out of bounds. And it will stay with Fort Scott with just over 20 seconds left in the quarter. A sub into the game for Fort Scott as Abby Gorman checks in, replacing Keegan Yarrick. Can't say I understand that one, Jess, but pass over the top, off the mark, ends up in the hands of Riley Brooks, off and running. Got away with a step there, and the Trojans tie it at 16. Rogers throws one up, no good. Rebound, Boatman. And that's going to do it for the first quarter. We're tied at 16. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back. You're watching Trojan basketball on Girard Sports Live.
Call's service is outstanding in their field, especially for those that are stuck, outstanding in their field. Call's carries a wide selection of farm, industrial, and heavy-duty tires, all from the best brands in the business. And they've got farm service trucks ready to go. Plus, Call's continues to be the place folks go for car and truck tires, repairs, oil changes, and so much more. If you're in the market for new tires in Southeast Kansas, make the right call to Call's Service, 620-724-4121. See more at callservicellc.com.
A partner in your fields and in your success. That's what you get with Murphy Seed. Channel seedsman Matt Murphy knows your fields and can recommend the elite seed products designed to perform in your area, maximizing the profitability of every acre. With Murphy Seed, you'll get year-round, hands-on, customized service. To learn more, call Murphy Seed at 620-249-6419. Your partner at every stage. Matt Murphy and Murphy Seed.
Welcome back to Fort Scott. After one, we're tied at 16. 0-0, Jess.
Yep.
Trojans with it to start the second quarter. Buckley with it top of the key. Now Bradshaw driving and dribbled it off her leg out of bounds. Turns it over to Fort Scott. Unforced errors. We've seen a few of them tonight. Gorman with it. Got it from Brown. Now she needs some help. Gives it up to Kylie Comstock. Now Yarrick with it, driving into the lane. And they're going to call a foul against the Trojans as Yarrick a little bit out of control there, gets bailed out by the foul call. We'll stay with Fort Scott. I think they got that one on Riley or Peyton. Somebody by the last name of Brooks got that one. Peyton picks up her second. Long shot, no good. Rebound, Bradshaw. And the Trojans will have it. Fort Scott backs off the pressure after the missed shot. And Kester has it top of the key. Gives it up to Bradshaw. Now Riley Brooks with it. Down the middle of the lane to Riley. Tried to get it to Bradshaw. Her pass deflected and picked off. Gorman comes away with it for Fort Scott. This is Allie Brown calling out the offense. Back to Gorman. Guarded by Kester. She'll put it on the floor down the lane. Open look, won't go. Tipped around. Rebound comes down to Peyton Brooks. And Riley Brooks will handle it up the floor. She'll get the play in from Coach Herlocker. Adolph into the corner to Kester. Now to Brooks at the elbow. Puts it on the floor, and she's going to be fouled on the shot attempt. We'll see who they get this on. I believe it's going to be on Comstock.
That was a great job there by Bailey Bradshaw. Set a screen and give Peyton Brooks a lane to the basket.
We got Claire McElroy with it. That's her first. Peyton misses the first free throw. Dayton 0 for 2 from the stripe tonight. Trojans have struggled at the free throw line as a team this year. And the deeper you get into the schedule, Jess, the more important those points are as Brooks hits the second. Now Comstock will inbound. Trojans going to sub after the free throw as Peyton Brooks will sit. Erica Boatman into the game for Girard. They get it into Gorman as she's hassled up the floor by Kester. Gorman beats her off the dribble down the lane. Her shot blocked from behind by Bradshaw, but Bailey's going to pick up the foul. And that's going to send Gorman to the line. As nobody cut off the dribbler until she was into the lane. First one in and out for Gorman. It's her first trip to the line tonight. Second one's good. First point of the night for Abby Gorman. 6 minutes to play. First half, we're tied at 17. Cross-court pass to Buckley. Now back to Kester and to Riley Brooks. Into the free throw line to Boatman. I'm not sure what was called there.
Travel.
Was it travel?
Yeah, Boatman switched pivot foot.
Can't do that. We're going to get a kick ball warning against Bailey Bradshaw. Bailey's one of those players, Jess, where you just can't get away with anything.
No, they seem to see her do
everything she does, they see it. Shot missed, and they're going to get Boatman with the foul on the putback, and Erica's got to get her hands straight up. We'll send Keegan Yark to the line. It's Boatman's first, third team foul on the Trojans. Yark misses the first. And the second. Loose ball, though. Guess who gets it? Fort Scott. And Comstock is fouled on the shot attempt by Bradshaw. And she'll head to the line. It's Bailey's third. Fourth team foul on the Trojans. Fort Scott with just one here in the second quarter. Comstock makes her first.
Yeah, Bailey's having an awfully good game, and I bet we don't see her again in the second half with 3 fouls.
Comstock hits them both. She's got 4 points. Fort Scott leads by 2. Riley Brooks dribbles out of trouble, now gives it up to Maddie Kester. Down low to Boatman, kicks it out to Buckley in the corner, open for 3. Off the mark, rebound Yarrick. Long pass ahead. Trying to hit J.C. Rogers, and it's off her hand out of bounds. That'll give it back to the Trojans. Opportunity to tie it. This is their second opportunity in a row. Not this score. And Maddie Kester dribbles out of bounds, and that'll give it back to Fort Scott. Rogers gets it in to Yarrick off the dribble. She beats Adolph. Pass in the lane, though, deflected by Boatman and stolen away. Adolph, top of the key. Gives it back up to Kester. Now Adolph will take a 3 from the wing off the mark over the back of the backboard. And that'll give it back to Fort Scott. Trojans just can't seem to get out of their own way here, down by 2.
They live and die by that 3-point shot, and they've only hit 1, I think, so far tonight.
Long pass over the top, and Maddie Kester can't find the ball in time, and it makes it to Abby Gorman. Back up top to Comstock. Kegler. Now Yarrick will take the 3 off the mark, tipped around. Fort Scott comes up with the loose ball. It's Kegler. Now Gorman will take the shot. She's fouled on the 3-point attempt by Maddie Kester. Not a good foul. Gorman hits the first. Off the mark with the second. Oh, yeah, she gets 3. Yep. And the third goes in. 3 points for Gorman, all from the free throw line. And it's a 4-point lead for Fort Scott. Timeout on the floor, full timeout. We'll take it as well. Trojans trailing it by 4. You're watching Trojan basketball on Girard Sports Live.
Chicken Annie's of Girard is something to crow about. Their family-style restaurant continues a Southeast Kansas tradition with their specialty, fried chicken, plus famous homemade onion rings and a variety of other dishes that would satisfy any cravings, even homemade pie. Besides dine-in and carry-out, Chicken Annie's of Girard also does catering in the area. Stop in on Highway 47 in Girard for a hearty meal, and follow Chicken Annie's of Girard on Facebook for specials.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Missing that human touch with your bank? Come talk to a real person at Community National Bank and Trust. We're your local bank that's small enough to know you, yet big enough to offer the best products. Community National Bank and Trust, federally insured, locally awesome. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Fort Scott. Trojans trailing it by 4. 4:22 to play in the first half. Girard with the ball coming out of the timeout. And again, another turnover by the Trojans and a foul against Jariah Adolph. And that's going to start the parade to the free throw line for Fort Scott.
Yeah, this game might get over in time for the boys. I don't know as many fouls as being called on one side of it.
This is the first. And the second rolls in. The Trojans could get some scores on the offensive end, Jess. This 50% free throw shooting for Fort Scott might come back to bite them. But the Trojans haven't taken very good care of the ball tonight. Kester to Buckley on the wing, turns and shoots. That's 2. First bucket of the night for Hayden Buckley. Brings the Trojans within 3. I think that's first bucket of the second quarter, Jess.
I believe so.
It's been rough. Yarick with it at the free throw line. Dribbles it off somebody's foot, and then it comes back outside. Gorman with it, and she's going to be whistled for a walk. Yeah, I think it's probably a good call. Moved her feet before the dribbling. And that'll give it to Girard, 3.5 to play. Trailing by 3. Still a one-possession game, but they can't keep possession of the ball. Yarick comes away with it again, steals it from Buckley, drives between defenders, off the glass, won't go. Rebound comes down to Riley Brooks. Now Kester with it. Fort Scott jumping into those passing lanes. Trojans need to move without the ball. Tipped around, out of bounds. They're going to say last touch by Fort Scott. It'll stay with Girard. Buckley to inbound. Under 3 minutes to play first half. Fort Scott leading by 3. Over the top, they get it into Riley Brooks. Tries to set up the offense. Over to Kester. Lucky she didn't get called for a walk there. Buckley back over to Brooks for 3. It's good. That's Riley's second three-pointer of the game. Ties us up at 22. Gorman with it now on the wing, being guarded by Brooks. Works off a screen from Comstock. Gets it over to Allie Brown. Now back up top to Gorman. Trying to get it down low to Comstock. She can't handle the pass. It's out of bounds. Trojan ball. It's probably the worst looking possession we've seen of the night for Fort Scott right there.
And a good time for it as Trojan just come back to tie this thing up.
Again, Girard with an opportunity to take the lead here. Kester back to Adolph. Ahead to Riley Brooks. Get it across the timeline. Brooks, little 15-foot runner, won't go. Tipped out of bounds. It's going to stay with Girard. Could have gone either way. Trojans fortunate to hang on to it. Buckley, middle of the lane to Kester. Out in the corner to Adolph. Gathers herself. Shot short of the mark. Rebound Boatman, and she's going to be fouled. I want to see who they whistle this on.
Got to be Comstock.
It's Yarick. Wow. Keegan Yarick. And that'll be her third, I believe. Maybe second. Nope, just second. I gave her too much credit. Boatman's first shot short of the mark. Pretty quiet first half for Erica Boatman. Second one, too strong off the back iron. Maddie Kester with the rebound, though, so Trojans will keep it under 2. Trying to take a lead into the half. Buckley with it at the elbow. Down low for Boatman. Into the lane, working. Her shot is good. First points of the night for Erica. Trojans take a 2-point lead. Quickly back the other way comes Gorman. Kicks it over. Good looking shot by Aubrey Yarick. It's her first bucket of the night, and we're tied again. Riley Brooks falls down, loses control of the ball. I think that's a pretty good no call. You don't have to run directly into the defender. And the Trojans turn it over again. Brown with it, gives it up to Yarick. You know she wants to use the dribble and loses the dribble. Now she's tied up with Adolph. Held ball, and it's going to stay with Fort Scott.
Good hustle there by Adolph to dive in there.
And Yarick, she can do a lot with the dribble, but sometimes you try to do too much. That's what that looked like right there. Trying to inbound it here. Oh, wide open under the bucket is Comstock. Boatman lost her. 6 points for Comstock. Fort Scott by 2. Brooks with it. Back up top to Kester. Free throw line for Buckley. Turnaround shot is good. 4 points for Buckley. Trojans tied at 26.
We got a quick foul, I think, on Riley Brooks.
That's 2 on Riley. And Trojans, Fort Scott's going to be shooting free throws on every Girard foul from here on out for the next 47.4.
Yeah. I think the foul count's up 8 or 9 to 2 on this quarter.
As Brown misses the first. Second shot from Allie Brown. Rattles around and good. 3 points for Brown. 1 point lead for Fort Scott. Trojans almost turn it over again right there.
Going to have to hurry now.
Just not paying attention. And there they do. You can see it coming.
Yep. Freshman Carson Oran in their first
action of the night.
Yeah.
Brown backing down against Oran. Nice no-look pass to find Keegan Yarick. The Trojan defenders turn their back on her, and she makes them pay. Oran ahead to Buckley. Trying to get it down low to Boatman. They do, off the glass and good for Erica. 4 points for Boatman. It's a 1 point game. Brown driving into the lane, off the glass and good, and the foul. And Coach Perlocker can't believe it. 5 points so far for Brown, trying to make it 6 right here. Kegler will check into the game, replacing Keegan Yarick, who will get 4.6 seconds and halftime to catch her breath. Brown's free throw rattles in. Kester, half court, going to launch one over the backboard. And that's going to do it for the first half. Trojans trail it by 4 to the Fort Scott Tigers. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the GN Bank halftime show. You're watching Trojan basketball on Girard Sports Live.
Family owned and operated, GN Bank has been providing customers with the highest quality of financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Whether you have personal, business, or agricultural needs, GN Bank is big enough to handle all of your banking needs, yet small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank. GN Bank, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more at gn-bank.com.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right. The first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
Hydrix, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Samsung savings. Leave notes, sync calendars, and display your photos on the new Samsung Family Hub refrigerator. Plus, get free same-day delivery. Why shop for appliances where the motto is do it yourself when you can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day?
The only thing better than our price is our service. Hydrix, Fort Scott, and Girard.
Whisper a phrase into a person's ear, then pass it on to a group of people. Notice how the message changes by the time that the last person hears it? In business, consider word of mouth in the same light. What people say may turn into something different than you would like it to be. It can't be controlled. That's why Norris Advertising provides proven ad solutions through radio, billboards, and digital sign sales, allowing your message to be controlled by the person that knows your business best. You, Norris Advertising, a proud sponsor of Trojan Athletics.
You've enjoyed life. Over the years, your community has become your passion, something you hope future generations get to experience, just as you have. That's why the Girard Area Community Foundation has worked hard to help fulfill charitable goals and inspire generosity, meeting the needs of the communities they serve. Creating a legacy fund with GACF ensures what you leave behind is an effective and lasting improvement in the community you love so dearly. Make plans to visit GirardAreaFoundation.com, preserving traditions for those who follow.
Producers Cooperative Association is the area leader in providing quality agricultural products, services, and markets. PCA has what you need to maximize your operation with a full-service agronomy department, grain origination, handling and storage, bulk fuels and lubricants, propane, a jam-packed farm store, and livestock feeds in bulk or bagged. PCA is proud to call Girard home and to support Trojan Athletics. Stop by or see more online at pcacoop.com.
Welcome back to Fort Scott, Kansas. At the break, Fort Scott girls lead the Trojans 32-28. I'm Josh Lettner, alongside me, Jess Murphy. This is the GN Bank Halftime Show, brought to you by GN Bank, where they've been providing customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Personal, business, or agricultural needs, turn to GN Bank. Learn more at gn-bank.com. Jess, I think the story really of the first half is number one, turnovers, and number two, rebounds.
I agree. Fort Scott maybe out-hustled. They scored 6 or 8 points in transition, and that's a big part of the game. Trojan girls have missed 3 or 4 or 5 3-point shots. If they could get those to fall, clean up some transition defense, and I'm telling you what, I guarantee Trojans are giving Fort Scott all they want tonight.
That Eye on the Game brought to you by Kennar Eye Care. As we take a look back at the first half, Kennar Eye Care is here to make sure you can see what you're looking at. Kennar Eye Care, with locations in Pittsburgh and Girard, is here to help their valued customers. Learn more at KennarEyeCare.com. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of those first half scoring totals. Brought to you by Bradshaw Collision Repair. If your car is anything short of totaled, then take it to Bradshaw Collision Repair. Bob Bradshaw offers refinishing, paintless dent repair, glass replacement, and more. Let Bradshaw Collision Repair get you back in the game. Call 620-724-7300. First, for the Fort Scott Tigers, since they're ahead in this thing, they're being led in scoring by Keegan Yarrick. She's got 7. Allie Brown and Kylie Comstock have 6 points each. JC Rogers has 4. Abby Gorman has 3. And Claire McElroy and Aubrey Yarrick have 2 points each to round out the scoring for Fort Scott. For the Girard Trojans, led in scoring by Riley Brooks. She's got 9. Next up is Peyton Brooks. She's got 5. Bailey Bradshaw and Hayden Buckley have 4 points each, along with Erica Boatman. And Jariah Adolph with a bucket to round out the scoring for Girard. We'll step away for a quick break. We'll come back with more of the GN Bank Halftime Show. You're watching Trojan Basketball on Girard Sports Live.
Thanks to your support, Kennar Eye Care has expanded. With double the space, they offer more exam rooms, larger optical selection, and extended hours to fit your schedule. And with the latest technology, they can quickly diagnose any eye-related issues. All patients are welcome at Kennar Eye Care, the clear choice for your family's vision.
Unbelievable amount of devastation. I've never seen anything like it.
We had a beautiful barn that was gone in 20 minutes.
Farm Bureau stepped up right away and said, hey, we got you and we'll be there for you.
We were taken care of.
Now we could get on to repairing and rebuilding.
I tell everybody about Farm Bureau.
We're fortunate to say we have good coverage with good people doing it.
Contact Judd, Lori, Lisa, or Amber in Girard for all your insurance needs.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a house, land, or commercial space, look no further than Lehman Realty. Locally owned and operated, Jason Lehman and his staff are ready to meet the needs of every client. When it comes to your listing, you can trust that Lehman Realty will take the time to get to know you and your property. Lehman Realty is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Learn more at www.lehmanrealty.net or call Jason at 620-724-8020.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Trojan fans can find us at 408B North Grand in Pittsburgh or call 620-232-7305. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net. When it comes to your health care, you have a choice. Choose to stay local. Choose Girard Medical Center. For over 100 years, Girard Medical Center has been a part of the community, and they work every day to meet the health care needs of those they serve. With 6 locations in Southeast Kansas and an ever-expanding list of inpatient and outpatient services, you just don't have to travel anymore to get quality, cutting-edge care, including many services you won't find elsewhere. Proud to serve Girard and the surrounding area. Learn more at girardmedicalcenter.com.
A partner in your fields and in your success. That's what you get with Murphy Seed. Channel seedsman Matt Murphy knows your fields and can recommend the elite seed products designed to perform in your area, maximizing the profitability of every acre. With Murphy Seed, you'll get year-round, hands-on, customized service. To learn more, call Murphy Seed at 620-249-6419. Your partner at every stage. Matt Murphy and Murphy Seed.
Yeah, Jess, we may not even be able to drink water or take showers at Substate. Some sort of rationing going on. Those of you who do not know, of course, Substate coming up, and the Trojans, pretty much all the teams out of the CNC are in a Substate that's being hosted by Caney. So we're all driving west out onto the Chaco.
And south.
And if you follow the news, which I do, Caney was having a drinking water crisis earlier this summer. They have a lake or a pond or a river, Caney River, they get their drinking water out of, and they hadn't had any rain, and everybody in town was drinking mud. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I visualize.
We don't have to report truth anymore.
No, we're not held to facts around here. We have alternatives.
I'm not sure we're getting fact-checked.
No, God, thank goodness. Thank goodness.
But everything I say is normally true, so that's your fact check there.
Well, you think it's right anyway.
Sometimes I don't even think it's right. I just say it.
Just sounds good.
Right.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
I do know Trojans are trailing by 4.
Boy, howdy. Girard will have the ball to start the second half, trailing by 4 in a first half that was – turnovers played such a large role. Peyton Brooks shot on the way. He rolls off. But Peyton gathers her own rebound. Back out to Riley, top of the key. Over to Kester. Thought about a 3. Now she'll drive in. 10-footer won't go. Rebound comes down to Fort Scott, but it's stolen away by Buckley. Over to Peyton Brooks. Off the glass and good. Not sure how to score that. We'll just give Peyton Brooks the bucket. Call it good. You're going to get a foul on Maddie Kester.
About had the turnover.
On the wrong end of the floor. Almost. That's Maddie's second. Full court pressure being shown here by the Trojans. Brown going to break it with the dribble. Somebody needs to pick her up. She gets all the way to the elbow. Shot on the way, no good. Rebound by Comstock, and her putback was good. Kylie Comstock having a heck of a game. She's got 8 points. Fort Scott by 4. Peyton Brooks with it. Back to Riley, ahead across the timeline to Kester. Maddie on the wing and throws it to no one in particular, and that'll turn it back over to Fort Scott. I think it was intended for Bradshaw, but Bradshaw was moving towards the bucket, and I think Kester passed it like she was going to cut away from the bucket. But if you know Bailey, she's always going to the bucket. Shot on the way from Yarrick, no good. Rebound Bradshaw. So Fort Scott unable to build on the 4-point lead. Now Trojans with an opportunity to cut into it once again. Peyton Brooks into the elbow to Bradshaw, to the corner. Shot on the way from Buckley, off the mark. Rebound comes down to Yarrick for Fort Scott. Had good position on Kester. Now Yarrick ahead, off the hands of Comstock, out of bounds. They'll give it back to the Trojans. So Fort Scott has had a couple opportunities to get some breathing room here, Jess, and turnover bugs biting both ways tonight. 6.5 to play. Trojans trying to cut into this 4-point lead. Buckley drives baseline. Her shot off the mark. And I don't know who they're going to whistle this foul on, because Gorman was taken out by Comstock, who's their own player, but they're going to whistle this foul on Peyton Brooks. Maybe the domino effect there. That's 3 on Peyton. Yarrick crossing over on Peyton Brooks, off the glass, no good. Rebound Buckley, and she gets tied up before she can get rid of it. Had 2 players basically reaching in, mugging her.
Wrapped all around her. So that,
and no foul.
Yeah, all hush.
Yep. Comstock gets the inbound pass, gives it back up to Brown, working against Riley Brooks. Backs her into the lane, turns off the glass and good. You got to know she wants to spin to her right. You got to take that away if you're Brooks. Don't allow her that spin. But not a lot of players, I think, at this level just have a go-to move that you need to take away, and so that's something maybe Trojans aren't used to. Buckley open for 3, too strong again. She's 0 for 3-point line tonight. Ahead to Brown, off the glass, and good. Fort Scott, once again, the quicker team down the floor. Allie Brown's got 10 points. And Fort Scott leading by 8 now. Kester down the lane. No-look pass. Luckily ends up in the hands of Buckley, who misses again. Back to Kester in the corner. Maddie picked up her dribble, needs help, gets it down low to Bradshaw. She's all alone, and fortunately she's fouled by Comstock, and she'll head to the line. There were no maroon jerseys down there on the blocks. And so Bradshaw fortunate that she drew a foul. That was getting ready to go the other way. Bradshaw hits the first. 5 points for Bradshaw. The foul was called on Comstock. That's her first. First team foul on Fort Scott here in the second half. Second shot for Bradshaw, also good. Bailey's got 6. Trojans trail by 6. Bradshaw sits. Erica Boatman into the game for Girard. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Well, Jess, how's the fishing this week?
Water got hard on me, so I didn't get to go.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
I don't know about what the conditions were like in Girard proper, but in
cold.
Pittsburgh, ice rink.
Right.
Everything had a quarter-inch of ice on it.
So we ended up in Springfield, Missouri.
Whoa.
Playing 17 Premier volleyball. Took second place. Drove all the way to Springfield.
Where was that at? Was that Drury or?
It was at the Apex Center. Which,
all right.
But we ended up playing championship game against a team out of Carl Junction. So
went all that way to play at Carl Junction.
Yeah.
Oh well, that speaks well of the quality of high school sports in this area. You travel 2 hours away and end up playing somebody from 20 minutes away. Fort Scott with the ball coming out of the timeout. Trojans bring a full court trap. Comstock or Yarrick dribbles out of it, but then throws it away. Boatman's got it for the Trojans. Girard has it under 5 minutes to play third quarter, trailing by 6. Kester steps into a straightaway three, misses everything, and it'll turn it back over to Fort Scott. Comstock gets it on the inbound. She's trapped. Now they get it ahead. Yarrick off and running. This is not the person you want to have it off and running. Pulls up for a 10-footer, won't go. Rebound, Erica Boatman. And she's fouled by Yarrick after the shot, who's got words for the ref. And how did they whistle that on 20? She was out by the half-court line.
It had to be on 22.
Yeah, that's something the scorekeeper's like, wait a minute, bud. 20 was at the half-court line. He keeps insisting that 20 committed the foul. 22,
right,
bud.
22.
Was at the half-court line. I mean, I understand missing a call, but missing a whole human is a whole nother thing.
All right, now he's changed.
Oh, there we
it.
go.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, how about that? No. He keeps insisting that it was McElroy, and she was standing at half court, and he called it after the rebound.
Nope, they're going to keep it with 20.
Like he's determined. Look. Well, okay. If you're McElroy, you're not happy about that one because you were about 40 feet away from the foul. Trojans with it, 4:20 to play, third quarter, trailing by 6. Shoot, anything could happen now, Jess.
Yeah.
Down low, gets it to Boatman on the baseline. Reverse layup is good. 6 points for Erica Boatman. Full court trap again by the Trojans. Here's McElroy, the unfortunate fouler. Turns it over to Boatman. Trojans with it going the other way. Under 4 minutes, tipped out of bounds. It's going to stay with Girard. Are you sure? Okay. McElroy will sit with one actual foul and one imaginary. Boatman with it on the baseline. She has to spin away from there we go. That kicks it out to Riley Brooks. 3 on the way is good. 12 points for Riley Brooks. Trojans cut it to 1. Brown working down the court against Adolph. She'll give it up to Yarrick, working against Peyton Brooks. Puts it on the floor, into the lane. Cut off by Kester. Back to Brown, trying to twist baseline. Gets it to Comstock. Her shot blocked by Boatman, but they're going to get a foul from the backside official.
They're going to get Riley Brooks on this one.
And they do. Murph Stradamus saw that one coming.
Yep.
That's 3 on Brooks. Third team foul on the Trojans here in the third. Comstock to the line to shoot a pair. She's played a nice game tonight. First one rattles in for Kylie Comstock. She's 3 for 3 from the line tonight. Riley Brooks will take a seat. Hayden Buckley into the game for Girard. Comstock hits them both. She is 4 for 4 from the stripe. Fort Scott by 2. Maddie Kester will sit. Kaylee David into the game for the first time tonight for Girard. Adolph with it off the inbound. Working against Gorman. Adolph gets it across the timeline and hits the brakes. Trojans will set up the half court. Buckley with it on the wing, back up top to Peyton Brooks. She drives on Comstock, and she's going to be fouled. If Comstock hadn't had that first arm into her, Jess, that backside arm blocked the shot, and that was clean, but I think they was calling a little bit of a push from the other arm. It's tough playing defense in this world, Jess.
It's tough playing defense anywhere.
Any sport.
Right.
Defense is the toughest.
The rules are made
to favor the offense. An offensive world.
It is. Before long, we'll have roughing the free throw shooter or something.
Peyton hits both of them. Well, technically, you're not. That's hence the free throw. If you're hitting the free throw shooter, that's a cheap shot. Trojans kind of bring some light full court pressure. Gorman will handle it up the floor, being guarded by Kaylee David. Brown up top with it. Comstock gets it down low to Keegan Yarrick. She kicks it out, and the three-pointer is good for Abby Gorman. 6 points for Gorman, her first bucket of the second half, and it's a big one. Puts Fort Scott back on top by 4. And Peyton Brooks dribbles it down into trouble, and Coach Herlocker calls a timeout to save that possession for the Trojans as it was getting ready to be a turnover.
Yep. 30-second timeout.
We'll stay right here.
Still just a 4-point game.
So these teams, with the exact same margin they went into the locker room with, each team has scored 11 here in this third quarter. And Trojans trailing it by 4. Fort Scott's girls 9-1. They're coming off their only loss of the season, a 1-point loss at Nevada. And the Trojans can tell you how tough of an atmosphere that is. They played good defense all year. It's a team that really gets after you. They held Paola to 13 back on December 8th. That's for the game, Jess. And then they held Pittsburgh High to 17 back on January 9th. So Trojans doing pretty good comparatively tonight against this Fort Scott defense. Buckley with it on the wing off the pass from Peyton Brooks. She'll drive into the lane. Little runner on the way. Too strong. Rebound comes down to Yarrick for Fort Scott. Now Brown with it on the run. Trojans need to get back defensively. And they do, as Brown will slow it down. Set up the offense for Fort Scott. Under 2 minutes to play third quarter. Down to Comstock in the lane. Nice little turnaround baby hook. Nice looking move there by Comstock. She's got 12. Fort Scott leads by 6. First player in double figures tonight. I'm sorry, second player in double figures tonight for Fort Scott. Trojans maybe yet to get there. Boatman at the free throw line. Has her shot blocked by Comstock, and it'll stay with Girard. Got to give her a pump fake or something like that. Has a little too much of a height advantage just trying to shoot over her. Erica's got to be a little bit more strategic with the ball fakes. Get it into Adolph, being guarded by Brown. Out to Buckley in the corner. Drives into the lane, tries to go for some sort of scoop shot. Doesn't go, ends up with David. And she's fouled, and Kaylee will head to the line for the first time tonight. Trying to cut into this 6-point lead. They whistle that foul on Allie Brown. I have that as her first. It is her second. Kaylee's first shot off the mark. Second one off the back iron. Free throw shooting problems continue for Girard. And Fort Scott turns it right back over. It's Yarrick trying to pass ahead and just a little too much on it. She'll sit down. A little frustrated. A minute left to play here in the third. Trojans, this is an opportunity to make some noise without Yarrick on the floor right now for Fort Scott. David over to Marley Sisney, seeing her first action tonight. David drives, picks up her dribble, kicks it back out to Sisney. thought about a three. Now she'll back it out. Gives it up to Adolph. Back up to Riley Brooks. Now David. Back to Brooks, who will try a three. Off the mark. Rebound, David. Good timing by Kaylee David. Comes streaking in there to get that rebound. Gives it up to Boatman. Out to Adolph. She'll put it on the floor. Into the lane. Kicks it over to Sisney. Down the lane. Off the glass and good for Marley Sisney. So the Trojans get somebody going to the glass that time, and Sisney's aggression pays off. She has an opportunity for a three-point play here. Draws the Trojans within 4 with under 20 seconds to play third quarter. Sisney misses. And Fort Scott with it coming back the other way. Gorman with it, being guarded by Kaylee David. Under 10 seconds now. Yarrick with it up top. Looking for a screen. Gets one. Three-pointer on the way. Off the front iron, no good. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. The Trojans trail it by 4. 45-41. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back here watching Trojan basketball on Girard Sports Live.
Why settle for less than the best? Croc-Can's gigabit fiber optic internet is now available to Pittsburgh, Frontenac, and Fort Scott and many rural areas in between. Croc-Can has the best speeds, the best reliability, the best service, the best support, and is overall the best value on all ultra-high-speed internet. If you want the best home internet connecting as many devices, all without equipment rentals, contracts, or overages, it is the time to switch to the best. It's time to switch to Croc-Can.
A partner in your fields and in your success. That's what you get with Murphy Seed. Channel seedsman Matt Murphy knows your fields and can recommend the elite seed products designed to perform in your area, maximizing the profitability of every acre. With Murphy Seed, you'll get year-round, hands-on, customized service. To learn more, call Murphy Seed at 620-249-6419. Your partner at every stage. Matt Murphy and Murphy Seed.
Trojans will have the ball to start the fourth quarter, trailing by 4 to the Fort Scott Tigers. Trojans get it in. Sisney will handle it across the midcourt line. Now Peyton Brooks with it, trying to get it back door to Kester. I have no idea how that pass got through. Kester's shot no good. Rebound by Kegler. Now coming the other way. Gorman's three is good. Trojans left her alone in transition. Gorman makes them pay. She's got 9 points, 6 of them here in the second half. All of those from beyond the arc. 7-point lead now for Fort Scott. Kester picked up her dribble, needs help, had it poked away. Yarrick comes away with it. She's going to be fouled in the open floor. Let's see if they whistle this one on Bradshaw or on Kester. It should probably be on Kester, and it is. That's 3 on Kester, I believe. First team foul. Bradshaw and Sisney will sit. Buckley and Riley Brooks check back into the game for Girard. Brown handling, gives it up to Yarrick, open for 3. She'll take it just off the mark. Rebound Boatman for Girard. Back the other way is Kester on the wing, gives it up top to Riley Brooks. Peyton with it on the near wing, now up top for Buckley. She's been off the mark tonight, misses a straightaway three-pointer. And here comes Gorman back the other way for Fort Scott. Gives it up to Comstock, now back to Gorman, left open for 3. She'll take it, no good. Rebound comes down to Buckley, who saves it inbounds. And Peyton Brooks able to handle for the Trojans. Brooks working off a Kester screen. Pulls up from 10, can't get it to fall. And then Maddie's going to pick up an over-the-back foul after the rebound. Just too much momentum coming in there after that one. That's her fourth. Second team foul on Girard. Adolph into the game, replacing Kester. Brown handling up the floor for Girard, being guarded by Riley Brooks. On the wing to Comstock, loses it, poked away. Adolph gets it, gives it up. Riley Brooks comes away with it, has it poked away from behind. And now Fort Scott with it again.
Travel.
Gorman walked with it. We're an impediment to traffic here, Jess.
Yeah, we keep getting some looks by people when they got to crawl over the bleachers to get around us.
You're welcome for the cardio. Adolph into the lane to Boatman, changes directions, goes to her right, has a shot blocked by Comstock, who's having a great game. Brown pushes off on Riley Brooks. Everybody who's not wearing white here wants a foul. Nice feed to find Yarick off the glass and good. Trojans aren't catching the cutters coming through that defense very well tonight. And there's a timeout on the floor. Full timeout. We'll take it as well. Trojans trailing it by 9. 5:19 to play. You're watching Trojan basketball on Girard Sports Live.
Unbelievable amount of devastation. I've never seen anything like it.
We had a beautiful barn that was gone in 20 minutes.
Farm Bureau stepped up right away and said, hey, we got you and we'll be there for you.
We were taken care of. Now we could get on to repairing and rebuilding.
I tell everybody about Farm Bureau.
We're fortunate to say we have good coverage with good people doing it.
Contact Judd, Lori, Lisa, or Amber in Girard for all your insurance needs. For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
Welcome back to Fort Scott. Trojans trailing it by 9 as we come out of the timeout. Adolph open for three. She'll take it off the mark. Rebound tipped around. It's going to be controlled by Yarick, but she stepped on the line, and that'll give it back to Girard. Buckley to inbound. Gets it into Boatman, into the lane. Working against Comstock. She'll give it to Peyton Brooks. Back out to Boatman. High arcing shot is good. Erica with a 15-footer. It went about 35 feet to get there.
Stretching her range.
8 points for Boatman. Trojans trailing it by 7. Brown, no look pass to Yarick down the lane. She's fouled by Peyton Brooks, and the bucket is good. That's going to be 4 on Peyton. Trojans not seeing the cutters or not cutting them off. Peyton will take a seat. Kennedy Keller into the game for Girard. Yarick at the free throw line to try and complete the three-point play, and she does. 12 points for Yarick, 10-point lead for Fort Scott. Riley Brooks working against Yarick up the floor. Gives it up to Adolph, top of the key. Left wing to Keller, back to Adolph. Jiraiya driving, loses her dribble, but she's fouled under the bucket. Let's see who they're going to get that one on. They whistle it on Allie Brown. That should be her third. Oh, guess it's her fourth.
Even better.
Brooks with the inbound. Gives it up to Keller. Picks up her dribble, now needs help. Tries to give it up to Buckley. Loose ball situation. And it's a mess, and it's going to be a held ball. That made a rugby scrum look organized, Jess. Aubrey Yarrick checks into the game, replacing Allie Brown for Fort Scott. Keegan Yarrick gets it in to Kylie Comstock. Now this is Abby Gorman with it. Guarded by Brooks. Trying to pick up the defensive pressure a little bit. They get it down low to Comstock, being guarded by Boatman. Turn around in the lane, no good. Erica gathers the miss. And Adolph will handle it up the floor for Girard. Trojans need to work quickly here, down by 10 with 3.5 left to play. Buckley surveys the floor, gives it up to Keller, drives baseline, shot no good. And the ball gathered by Aubrey Yark, but she stepped on the end line, and that'll give it back to Girard. Trojans getting their chances here, Jess.
Yeah, they need to take advantage of it right here. Get to the basket, finish at the rim.
Buckley to inbound, gets it into Riley Brooks, top of the key. Riley driving, high, off the glass, won't go. Loose ball tipped around, it's like a greased pig. Abby Gorman comes away with it for Fort Scott. Trojans just can't get the loose balls when they need them. Comstock with it on the wing. Bradshaw basically daring her to shoot it from there. Brown with it on the right wing, picks up her dribble, gives it up to Aubrey Yarrick. Now back to to Keegan Yarrick. Well, this is Gorman with it. Yarrick with it in the corner. She'll put it on the floor, working against Keller. Gets it down low to Comstock in the lane, working against Bradshaw. Out of control. Falls away, and the loose ball comes to Adolph, who will handle it up the floor for Girard. Out top for Keller. The Trojans will set up the offense. Got to move quicker. Got to make decisions. And Adolph just throws it into the foot of the defender, Yarrick, who comes away with it for Fort Scott. Three-pointer no good. Rebound Adolph. Trojans got to be more decisive on the offensive end this time. That one poked away. Loose ball. And they're going to whistle an over and back against Bailey Bradshaw because she fell back across the half-court line.
Got a full timeout.
We'll take it as well. Minute 59 to play. Trojans trailing by 10. You're watching Trojan basketball on Girard Sports Live.
Hydrix, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Samsung savings. Leave notes, sync calendars, and display your photos on the new Samsung Family Hub refrigerator. Plus, get free same-day delivery. Why shop for appliances where the motto is do it yourself when you can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day?
The only thing better than our price is our service. Hydrix, Fort Scott, and Girard.
Welcome back to Fort Scott. Under 2 minutes to play. Trojans trailing by 10. Fort Scott with the ball coming out of the timeout. Yarrick wide open for the three. Off the mark. Rebound Buckley. And here come the Trojans. Minute 50. Riley Brooks with it, being guarded by Yarrick up the floor. Just to give it up and does eventually. Peyton Brooks comes away with it, but not cleanly. Minute 35, Trojans, you get a shot off. Here it is, Riley Brooks for three, and she hits. $15 points for Brooks. Trojans trailing by 7, got to initiate something here quickly. Brown right down the floor, 15-footer won't go. Rebound, held ball, and it's going to favor Girard. Fort Scott coaches want a foul, but tonight, if they can call a hold ball, they're not going to call a foul.
I'd like a foul too. Called on the team wearing white.
Trojans with it. Down around a minute to play. Peyton Brooks trying to direct some traffic. Got to move quickly. You don't have time. Kester with it, working off a screen. Down the lane, Maddie off the glass, won't go. Tipped around, a rebound comes down to Gorman, and she's going to be fouled by Bailey Bradshaw.
Is that 5 on Bailey or just 4?
I don't know, Jess. I'll call that 4. Yep, just 4. Yarrick ahead to Gorman. Gets it across the timeline. You can't fall asleep here if you're the Trojans, and they foul Comstock, who's 4 for 4 from the line tonight.
Yeah, Fort Scott should be in no hurry to get to the basket with
negative.
Yeah.
And like I said, Comstock maybe not the one you wanted to foul in this situation. Hits it. And she misses one. Yarrick there for the rebounder, put back no good. Then it ends up with Comstock. Trojans just can't get a rebound or a loose ball here in these last couple minutes. And there's a foul whistled against Girard. I think it's going to be against Bradshaw. It is, and that's going to do it for Bailey. She'll sit. Erica Boatman back into the game for Girard. So Comstock right back at the line. Her third attempt is good. 15 points for Comstock. I'm sorry, 14. Trying to make it 15 right here. And she does. Back to a 10-point lead for Fort Scott. Pass over the top intended for Kester. Nobody reached up for it. Goes out of bounds. And he'll give it back to Fort Scott. Girard bringing the trap. Brown with it. She's fouled from behind by Peyton Brooks. And that's going to be 5 on Peyton by my count. Frustrating night for the Trojans, Jess.
Yeah, very.
Turnovers, man, and rebounds. Yeah. Loose balls.
They played well. They just not. Yeah, I don't know. Fort Scott's going to force you into a lot of those turnovers. They, like you said, they get, 17 points to Pittsburgh High and
14 or 13 to Paola.
Yeah. So Trojans put up 46. Just couldn't slow them down much when you give up 57 or 80.
They just needed 66. That's
yeah.
wrong. As Brown makes them both. 12 points for Allie Brown. And she's really been a difference maker for Fort Scott tonight. Kester not looking for the pass. It's stolen away by Yarrick. Now there's a scrum for the ball. Kennedy Keller with it. And I don't know how you don't call a foul there, but we're just not gonna.
What do they call a hold ball?
Held ball. So, Jess, if you got the ball and I run up and crash into you, but I grab onto the ball, all good, held ball.
And jump on top of you, roll you around a while.
Yarrick with it off the inbound. Keller guarding her. Gives it up to Allie Brown.
Yeah.
Brown's going to hang on to it, and that's going to do it. Trojans drop this one. 58-46 to the Fort Scott Tigers. Trojans fall to 8-3. Tigers improve to 10-1. Got the boys game coming up in the nightcap tonight. Trojan boys coming in at 8-2. Fort Scott at 8-3. They've had a rough few weeks coming into tonight, so they're trying to get their ship righted. The Trojans trying to get back on track as we get set for the run through league play and the stretch run down towards Sub-State. We'll talk about that coming up in the post-game / pre-game show. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Trojan basketball on Girard Sports Live.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of Girard schools. For generations, Farmers Bank has worked with local leaders, businesses, and residents to help shape the future of Southeast Kansas. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. As partners in business and friends in life, Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank, with locations in Hepler, Walnut, St. Paul, and Girard. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Mathis Drug continues to be the area's choice when it comes to your family's health and wellness. New ownership, but the same commitment to community you've come to expect from Mathis Drug. Now offering medication synchronization. Get all your monthly meds at the same time at the same place. Mathis Drug.
Hi, I'm Bria Scheibe, pharmacist and new owner of Mathis Drug Store. Stop in today and ask us about medication synchronization.
Mathis Drug, still locally owned and operated. Call 620-724-4313.
Chicken Annie's of Girard is something to crow about. Their family-style restaurant continues a Southeast Kansas tradition with their specialty, fried chicken, plus famous homemade onion rings and a variety of other dishes that would satisfy any cravings, even homemade pie. Besides dine-in and carry-out, Chicken Annie's of Girard also does catering in the area. Stop in on Highway 47 in Girard for a hearty meal, and follow Chicken Annie's of Girard on Facebook for specials.
I was raised in a small town, and there was a lot of people who took time to invest in me. And so when we decided to open up our offices, we want to make sure that we're pouring back into the community that's giving to us. We care. We want to be involved. We want to have a passion for what you have a passion for. We want to be able to give back. And that's the foundation. That's why we're more than just insurance.
The 15-10, 5, Colt McCann, his third touchdown of the game.
It's like in the net, it'll be a point for Baldwin.
A first touch volley, the substituted freshman. Fights forward, across the goal line, touchdown Trojans.
Welcome back to Fort Scott. Trojan girls fall 56-47 to Fort Scott here in the opener tonight. A game that was a game of turnovers and rebounds pretty much for the Trojans. Fort Scott able to force more turnovers, pull down more boards. They also shot the ball just a little bit better than the Trojans did tonight, and they're able to come away with the 9-point win. Let's go ahead and take a look at those scoring stats brought to you by B&B Excavating. The numbers don't lie. Dirt is heavy, so trust the guys at B&B Excavating to move what needs moving. Specializing in septic systems, water line install and repair, driveways, rock hauling, and leveling. called B&B Excavating at 620-724-8542. First, for the Fort Scott Tigers, they're led in scoring by Kylie Comstock. She finished with 15, played a really nice game on the inside for Fort Scott tonight. Allie Brown and Keegan Yarrick finished with 12 points each, so Fort Scott with 3 players in double figures, and that's going to be hard to counter any night of the week. Abby Gorman just missed with 9 points, 6 of those coming in the second half, all of her second half points from beyond the arc. J.C. Rogers finished with 4, and then Claire McElroy and Aubrey Yarrick finished with a bucket each. For the Trojans, they're led in scoring by Riley Brooks. She finished with 15. Peyton Brooks had 9. Erica Boatman finished with 8. Bailey Bradshaw had 6. Hayden Buckley finished with 4. And Jariah Adolph and Marley Sisney finished with a bucket each to round out the scoring for Girard. So a tough loss tonight for the Trojans. And right now we're joined by head coach Brad Herlocker and coach. A tough game tonight. And Fort Scott really, they're a team that'll make you uncomfortable defensively. We've seen they've held opponents to, scores in the teens so far this year. They held Pittsburgh High to 17. And your girls certainly did better than that tonight against them. But it seemed like they just didn't get the shots to fall when they needed them.
Yeah, there's a reason this team is the 4th place team in 4A, and they played like it, especially down the stretch. I thought in that second half, they continued to execute. I thought really through 3 quarters, our kids played as well as they could, and really they played their tails off the whole game. I told them in the locker room that the effort definitely was there. It wasn't always the execution, especially in that 4th quarter. We turned the ball over way more than you can and beat a good team. And, but tip your hat to Fort Scott. They had something to do with that. They're long and long in about every spot. I think the refs allowed them to be super aggressive against us without calls, and I'll leave it at that. But, tip your hat to a really good Fort Scott team. They're going to go and make some noise. A game like this really can do nothing but make us better, and I do think we got better tonight.
Yeah, and you got a long stretch of league games coming up as you guys get set for Sub-State. And so I was just going to ask you, what does playing a team of this caliber do for you as you head down the stretch?
Yeah, we're in 3A, so we're a classification down, and so you get to see players that maybe you won't even see out at state if we're fortunate enough to make it to state. So and it's not a league game, so really no harm was done tonight. Our Sub-State is tight as far as records and stuff like that. So every game does matter, especially as we come down the stretch. But, again, tip my hat to Fort Scott. They kept executing. The Yarrick girls just really tough and made the plays down the stretch for them. Again, having that big girl at the rim every time sure did help them as well. We don't have any time to feel sorry for ourselves. If Colgan's not the first team in 1 or 2A, wherever they're at, then they're very, very close to it. So we're going from playing a 1-loss team to a no-loss team. So, we've got to have some really good practices and be productive.
And Fort's got a pretty good warm-up for that Colgan squad because they both like to get up and down the floor. They both have good length. And so no nights off here coming up for you guys.
No, it's a tough schedule. I always like a tough schedule. I want to play really, really good teams. It helps you find out who you are, find out what you need to work on, to where down the stretch you've worked on it in practice, you've seen, you have a plan, and you hopefully execute that plan down the road. Again, a good team, you got to keep pace with them, and we just didn't in that 4th quarter keep pace.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for coming up and talking to us. Tough loss tonight. Trojans in the middle of a big, long road trip. Of course, Lewisburg tournament last week, then at Colgan coming up Friday night, and then Tuesday night at Galena. Not an easy place to play, so I hope you guys can get it turned around in practice this week, and we'll see you down in Pittsburgh.
Doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
All right, that's head coach Brad Herlocker of the Girard Trojans. They fall by 9 tonight here to a very good Fort Scott squad. The boys out there warming up on the floor right now, as you can see. And we'll take a quick break. We come back, we'll start talking about that boys matchup, fire up the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. That postgame coach interview brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust, serving the area for over 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. Community National Bank and Trust, a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. We'll step away for a minute. We'll be back. Start talking boys basketball coming up right after the break. You're watching Trojan basketball on Girard Sports Live.
Roto-Rooter is proud to serve Girard and the surrounding area, offering sewer and drain cleaning, as well as septic and grease trap pumping 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From toilet clogs to video inspections, sewer line repairs to complete replacements. To make an appointment, call 620-231-5630. Roto-Rooter is now owned by GHS alum Braden Peak and GMS teacher Heather Peak, and they are proud to support the Trojans. Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630. See their ad in names and numbers.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Missing that human touch with your bank? Come talk to a real person at Community National Bank and Trust. We're your local bank that's small enough to know you, yet big enough to offer the best products. Community National Bank and Trust. Federally insured, locally awesome. Member FDIC.
A partner in your fields and in your success. That's what you get with Murphy Seed. Channel seedsman Matt Murphy knows your fields and can recommend the elite seed products designed to perform in your area, maximizing the profitability of every acre. With Murphy Seed, you'll get year-round, hands-on, customized service. To learn more, call Murphy Seed at 620-249-6419. Your partner at every stage. Matt Murphy and Murphy Seed.
You've enjoyed life. Over the years, your community has become your passion, something you hope future generations get to experience, just as you have. That's why the Girard Area Community Foundation has worked hard to help fulfill charitable goals and inspire generosity, meeting the needs of the communities they serve. Creating a legacy fund with GACF ensures what you leave behind is an effective and lasting improvement in the community you love so dearly. Make plans to visit GirardAreaFoundation.com, preserving traditions for those who follow.
Call's service is outstanding in their field, especially for those that are stuck, well, outstanding in their field. Call's carries a wide selection of farm, industrial, and heavy-duty tires, all from the best brands in the business. And they've got farm service trucks ready to go. Plus, Call's continues to be the place folks go for car and truck tires, repairs, oil changes, and so much more. If you're in the market for new tires in Southeast Kansas, make the right call to Call's Service, 620-724-4121. See more at callservicellc.com.
Welcome back to Fort Scott. Trojans taking on the Fort Scott Tigers tonight. The girls matchup. Trojans fell by 9 to the Tigers, 58-46. So that's 12, Jess. That's 12.
Carry the one.
Yeah. Trojans fall by 12 tonight to Fort Scott in the girls matchup. Boys getting ready to take the floor. Trojans come in at 8-2. Coming off a double overtime win against Lewisburg at the Lewisburg tournament. And of course, we didn't have that for you. You got to watch that one on Lewisburg Sports Live.
Yep.
I'm sure they were happy with that ending. And Trojans taking on tonight. Fort Scott, they come in at 8-3. They won their first 7 games of the year, Jess, and then lost 3 of the last 4. They're coming off a loss on January 20th, 56-47 at Life Prep High School, another one of those homeschool type academies where you never know what you're going to get, and they got a loss out of that one. Then on the 19th, the night before, they lost 51-35 against Piedmont, Oklahoma. And so a couple losses for Fort Scott. They have wins over Parsons, Chanute, Iola, Labette County, and Paola. This skid started back on the 9th of January with a 60-58 loss at Pittsburgh. You know, it's always heartbreaking when you lose to your rival. Their only win over this stretch back on the 12th, a 57-35 shellacking of Coffeyville at Coffeyville. So they're looking to find their groove again here tonight. Trojans looking to keep it running after going 1-1 at the Lewisburg tournament. Next week, coming up, well, this week, I guess, Friday night, we're at the Fieldhouse in Pittsburgh to take on Colgan. Then next Tuesday night at Galena. So a couple of tough road challenges there for the Trojans. And then a long home stretch going to start on February 2nd when the Trojans play host to Anderson County, and that's basketball homecoming night. And, of course, we'll have all those festivities for you here on Girard Sports Live. So you don't need to badger Jess all week long about it.
We will show it.
I mean, badger him anyway. I don't care, but we're going to have it either way.
Right.
Okay, Jess, let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's starting lineup since that's what we're about to do here in the arena.
All right, so Fort Scott's going to start sophomore 5'11" Dirks Keegler, senior 5'8" Cal Cousins.
I think we're doing the national anthem again.
All right, hold on.
Okay.
We'll start over.
Yep. America first. All right, Fort Scott Pep Band giving you the national anthem, and now Jess Murphy to give you tonight's starting lineups.
All right, so let's just completely start over here. So
let's do it.
Fort Scott's going to start sophomore 5'11" Dirks Keegler, senior 5'8" Cal Cousins, senior 5'10" Spencer Goldston, senior 6'6" Rocco Lafredo, and junior 5'11" Dub Chipman. And our Trojans are going to counteract that with senior 6'1", number 1, Ethan Brooks, junior 5'7", number 4, Ranson Bourne, senior 6'4", number 5, Aiden Chorkey, senior 6'4", 34, Colton Dressler, and junior 6'5", number 40, Scott Moore.
The starting lineup's brought to you by the Jagged Edge. Trojans will start this game in style, but nowhere near the level of style you'll find at the Jagged Edge. Stylist Carlos Sands, Robin Hawkins, or Ava Vietti will have you looking your best for your next big game. Make an appointment soon by calling 620-724-7500. Dressler will tip it off for the Trojans against Rocco Lafredo for Fort Scott. Tonight's opening tip brought to you by Larrett Ceramics, 503 West Maple in Girard. Stop by Larrett Ceramics for great gift ideas and supplies. Get creative when it comes to gift buying and get your family and friends a beautiful ceramic piece or maybe even classes from Larrett Ceramics. Call 620-724-8442. Good atmosphere for high school basketball tonight here in Fort Scott. Trojan girls dropped the opener by 12. Trojan boys looking to get the split tonight here in Fort Scott, a team that's kind of been reeling over the last 4 weeks. They are one of their last 4. Coming off a coming off of a 56-47 loss at Life Prep Academy back on the 20th. And then the night before, a 51-35 loss to Piedmont, Oklahoma.
Yeah, all my exhaustive research says they live and die by the outside shot.
Trojans control the tip. Ranson Bourne here with it for Girard. Up top to Brooks, around to Dressler on the wing, gets it to Troike. Backing down, shot off the mark. Rebound comes down to Cousins for Fort Scott. He'll give it up. Goldston with it. Now Chipman. Now back up top to Goldston. A drive by Chipman, kicks it out. And an errant pass will turn it over to the Trojans. Good job crashing out on those outside shooters, forcing them to drive and dish. And forced an uncomfortable pass. Fort Scott turns it over. We're scoreless here. Just under 7.5 to play. First quarter. Brooks with it. Over to Dressler, around to Troike, thought about a three, now backs his way into the lane, spinning towards the bucket. And 2 points for Aiden Troike. Trojans lead it 2-0. Kegler gives it up to Goldston. Now Lafredo back around. This is Goldston with it. Guarded by Troike. I think Troike's length may give Goldston some fits tonight. Kegler goes over the top to Lafredo, working against Moore. Kicks it back out to Goldston. Into the lane. Shot won't go, but right there is Dub Chipman to pick up the loose ball and give Fort Scott their first bucket of the night. We're tied at 2. Troike almost lost the dribble. Gives it up to Dressler. Now Bourne with it down the lane. His shot blocked by Lafredo, but Bourne gets it back, stripped it away. Now top to Brooks, down the lane, elevates against Lafredo, over the top and good. First bucket of the night for Ethan Brooks. Trojans by 2. Lafredo with it on the blocks, working against Moore. Kicks it out. Shot by Cousins is good. A little floater, about a 10-footer. Comes Troike back the other way, working baseline. Now he'll back it out, gives it up to Bourne, top of the key. Down the lane to Brooks, trying to dish to Bourne. Bourne wasn't ready for it. Ethan throws it out of bounds. First turnover of the night for the Trojans. Fort Scott with an opportunity to take their first lead of the game. Goldston with it. Gives it to Kegler at the elbow, being guarded by Brooks. Now Goldston will back it out to Chipman. Back out top to Kegler, looking for Lafredo, but it ends up with Goldston. Cleans it up. Chipman back out to Goldston. He'll pull the trigger on a three, off the mark. Rebound, Dressler. Trojans doing a good job on the perimeter thus far. Early in the game, Brooks looking in the middle of the lane. His pass tipped. Just too many people try and force that pass in there. Goldston with it on the wing. There's a walk, no call. Down to Lafredo. Off the glass, won't go. Moore tips it out, and Brooks controls it for the Trojans. Under 5 to play in the first quarter. Tied at 4. Down low to Brooks on the blocks. Elevates, shoots, hits. 4 points for Ethan Brooks. Trojans by a pair. Goldston will handle up the floor, gives it up to Kegler. Now Lafredo with it, top of the key, working against Moore. Picks up his dribble, looking for help. Gives it up. Now Kegler with it again. Working down the lane, elevates, shot won't go. Good job by Dressler, not committing the foul. Stays put, collects the rebound, and now Trojans working on the offensive end. Down the lane for Troike, and they're going to whistle Lafredo with the foul, and I'm not sure. Coach Westcott not happy with what he's seeing, so Cam Smith going to check into the game. Aiden Troike set to shoot 2, and I have a feeling, yep, Smith is coming in for Troike. Aiden hits the first. Second shot off the back iron, rebounded by Lafredo. Now Cousins with it. Chip almost walked over to Kegler. Trojan student section here in Fort Scott making some noise. Short drive up number 7 highway. Tipped away and stolen by Dressler. Trying to force it inside. Both teams have gotten in trouble doing that tonight. Troike open for 3, and Aiden hits. 6 points in this first quarter for Troike, and Trojans by 6. Under 3.5 to play. Kegler will give it up to Goldston. Now Lafredo. This is Cousins with it. Kegler on the right wing. Hesitation, now kicks it out. Goldston will take a long 3 and hits. You can tell, Jess, that's what they want to do. Goldston pulls them within 3, and a team that can shoot the 3 is never out of it.
Never.
Brooks with it on the left wing. His pass stolen. Scott Moore's got to go to the passer and shorten that pass. Didn't get the rebound either, but he's fouled over the back by Kegler. Dirks Kegler picks up his first team foul on anybody tonight. Cam Smith into the game. Aiden Troike sits with 6 points. Brooks will handle it up the floor for Girard. Under 3 minutes, first quarter. Bourne with it, being guarded by being guarded by Cousins. Down low to Moore, has it poked away, gathers it in the corner. Back up top to Brooks. Ethan puts it on the floor. He's cut off. In trouble now. Needs help. I get it out to Moore. Up top to Bourne. Bourne almost lost it. Now back to Brooks. Elevates. Shot on the way, in and out. Rebound Moore. Put back good, and the foul. Good position by Scott Moore. Gets the bucket and the foul. He'll head to the line to try and complete the three-point play. Let's see who they whistle this one on. Got that one on Kanan Brown, who just checked into the game.
Yeah, Scott Moore did a great job of gathering that rebound, getting himself based up underneath and going back up instead of just tipping it around.
Moore hits the free throw, completes a three-point play. Trojans leading by 6. 2:10 to play. Well, now it's 2:10 to play, first quarter. Chipman with it, top of the key, guarded by Ben Cullen, who just checked into the game. Brown up top to Goldston. Picks up his dribble. Back up top. Now Chipman with it. Kicks it out to Goldston, into the lane. Now back out to Chipman, had trouble with the pass. Gets away with a little bit of a push on Troike. Back out to Cousins. No shot clock, Jess.
Nope.
Chipman, Troike cuts him off on the baseline. He's forced to kick it back out to Goldston. Back around, shot on, nope. Brown will put it on the floor, into the lane. Shot no good, tipped around. Rebound comes down to Cam Smith. Now here comes Troike going the other way, ahead to Ethan Brooks. Steps into the lane, shot on the way is good. Brooks just stepped through and hit the shot. He's got 6. Trojans leading by 8. Chipman with it. Into the lane to Brown, back out. Cousins, long 3 is good. That's what they want to do, Jess. Cousins has 5. Cuts the lead to 5. Troike with it. Top of the key to Smith. He thought about the 3, now kicks it to Cullen. Around the horn to Brooks. Down low to Smith. Had good position, but he dribbles it out to the three-point line. Now Troike with it, top of the key. Moore. Back down the lane to Troike. Off the glass and good. Aiden with the height advantage, and he uses it. 8 points for Troike. Trojans by 7. Under 30 seconds to play first quarter. Kegler with it, being guarded by Brooks. Way out near half court. Gonna let the clock tick down. Under 15 now. Fort Scott holding for the last shot here in this first quarter. Trojans leading by 7. Here comes Kegler. Crossing over into the lane, elevates, shot on the way, blocked. Troike comes away with it, launches it from half court, no good. That's going to do it for the first half. Trojans lead it by 7. We'll step away for a quick break. You're watching Trojan basketball on Girard Sports Live.
enjoyed life. Over the years, your community has become your passion, something you hope future generations get to experience, just as you have. That's why the Girard Area Community Foundation has worked hard to help fulfill charitable goals and inspire generosity, meeting the needs of the communities they serve. Creating a legacy fund with GACF ensures what you leave behind is an effective and lasting improvement in the community you love so dearly. Make plans to visit GirardAreaFoundation.com, preserving traditions for those who follow.
Welcome back to Fort Scott. After one quarter, the Trojans lead it by 7 over the Fort Scott Tigers. Fort Scott's girls won the opener tonight. Trojan boys trying to get the split here in the nightcap. Original starting 5 back out on the floor for Fort Scott. For the Trojans, Cullen, Smith, Bourne, Dressler, and Troike on the floor. Long shot is good for Goldston. He's got 6 points here in this first half, all of them from beyond the arc. The Trojans just can't let him shoot from out there. Bourne gets it around to Troike, over to Dressler. Pass deflected, ends up with Bourne. Now back to Troike. He'll step into a 3, in and out, tipped out of bounds. And it'll be Fort Scott ball, last touch by Dressler. That was not a very smooth offensive possession that time for Girard. Still, Troike almost got away with a 3 there. But Fort Scott with it now, trailing by 4. And you can tell they want to shoot it from outside as they try to hit a cutting Cousins. Tipped out of bounds by Cousins. It'll be Trojan basketball. So both teams with a rough-looking possession there. Trojans get it back here, leading by 4. Troike handles the pass eventually, gets it to Dressler, top of the key, into the corner to Cam Smith. And they're going to say he stepped on the line, and that'll turn it back over to Fort Scott. Unforced errors. Smith and Cullen sit. Ethan Brooks back into the game along with Scott Moore. Kegler gives it up to Cousins. Brown with it. Lafredo now back out to Kegler. Working, spinning against Ethan Brooks. And they're going to whistle Brooks with the foul. Looked like Kegler hooked him with the elbow a little bit, chicken winged him there, but foul's going to go against Brooks. It's hard being a defender, Jess.
Yep. They make rules for the offense.
Kegler's first shot off the mark, rebounded by Scott Moore. So no on the three-point play that time for Kegler. Trojans with it, leading by a bucket. Down to Brooks, elevates, shot on the way, off the mark. Rebound tipped by Dressler, but he didn't secure it. And now Fort Scott off and running off the glass, and good is Goldston. He's got 8, and we're tied at 17. Trojans not getting down the floor very quick, and Dressler not securing the rebound. Trying for the tip in. Troike down to the lane to Brooks, off the glass and good. 8 points for Ethan Brooks. 30-second timeout. Trojans will stay right here.
Right, and that's how they built that big lead, was cutting to the basket and finding them open cutters. So they quit need to settle into these contested jump shots and just get to the rim.
The Trojans, I mean, you'd think that they would be able to do that against this Fort Scott squad. They're not a lot of bigger physical guys that are going to stop you from driving to the bucket. They do have Lafredo down there to kind of clean things up, but
bring him out with Dressler,
right?
Because he's manning up on Dressler or more, so get him out of the lane with those bigs and let our guards and forwards, I don't even know what positions they play anymore in basketball.
Forwards, I would guess.
And
we don't have a center.
And
3 guards and 2 forwards would be my guess, what we have.
Play 3s and 4s.
Goldston will handle it up the floor to Brown, back to Goldston, over to Kegler for 3. Off the mark, rebound Lafredo. His turnaround shot rattles around, no good. Rebound Ethan Brooks. Brooks got it over 2 white jerseys. And now coming back the other way, Kegler will pick him up. Back up top to Ranson Bourne. Now Dressler with it. Colton into the corner to Bourne. Bourne has it poked away, gets it back. Now needs some help to Scott Moore on the baseline. Moore to Dressler. Nice look by Moore to find Colton Dressler, and that's Colton's first bucket of the game. Gives the Trojans a 4-point lead.
Again, cutting to the basket.
Kegler with it up top. Swings it around to Goldston. Chipman. Lafredo back up top to Kegler. Into the corner to Lafredo. Brown. Chipman, now Goldston. Baseline, back up top. Goldston takes the 3. Off the mark. The rebound comes down to Brown. His putback is good. The one way that ball couldn't bounce, and it went exactly that way. To Brown. He gets his first bucket of the game. Trojan lead is 2. Dressler up top to Scott Moore. Moore over to Bourne. Fakes baseline, now kicks up top to Brooks. Down the lane, gives it up to Scott Moore. Self-defense catch there by Moore. Bourne down the baseline, kicks it out to Brooks. He'll take the 3, off the mark. And we got a foul under the basket. And I think they're going to whistle Girard with the foul. They got Scott Moore with it, maybe a push-off or something. That's his first. Second team foul against Girard. Goldston will sit. Cousins checks back into the game for Fort Scott.
And his range seems to be about half court in.
Yeah. There's several of these guys for Fort Scott who probably think they got a chance at it from anywhere on the floor. Chipman with it. Back up top. This is Cousins. Kegler looking down low. Back up top to Cousins. Into the corner to Brown. Back up top to Chipman. Into the corner now, down the baseline. Pass over to Brown, working against Scott Moore. Off the glass, won't go. Rebound, Ethan Brooks. And they're going to say Brooks stepped on the inline. He was run into. He would never have been going that way had he not been collided with. The official only saw one of those things occur. I'm shocked, Jess.
I think he's getting an earful right there by
a well-deserved earful.
Coach Westcott.
Kegler gets it in to Cousins, now tipped away, and Brooks is going to come away with it after all, so poetic justice there for the Trojans. Dressler with it, NBA range, now kicks it out to Troike, top of the key. Aiden puts it on the floor. He'll rise for a 15-footer off the mark. Rebounded by Kanan Brown for Fort Scott. Trojans leading by a bucket. There's a travel, thank you. As Kegler kind of lost track of the dribble and committed the carry. I mean, when you're all alone, obviously, at center court, they gotta call that. Kegler will sit. Goldston back into the game for Fort Scott. Troike being guarded by Chipman. Now down the lane goes Bourne, back out to Troike at the wing. Across the way to Dressler. Now Brooks spinning baseline, elevates. His shot was blocked by Lafredo, but they're going to whistle Rocco with the foul, I believe. And they do. If you're a Fort Scott fan, you're probably not real fond of that call. Well, that's Lafredo's second. And Ethan Brooks will head to the line to shoot a pair. This is Ethan's first trip to the stripe tonight. First one hits dead on the front iron, but rolls over. And it is good. Not many style points on that one.
Worked.
And the second one on the money.
A lot better looking shot there.
10 points now for Ethan Brooks. Trojans by 4. 2.5 to play first half. Nip and tuck affair here in Fort Scott between these two boys teams. Goldston gets it open for 3 and hits. And Troike just didn't get over there in time. 11 points for Spencer Goldston. And the Trojan lead is 1. Dressler with it in the corner, directing traffic, trying to get it down to Scott Moore. It's tipped away by Lafredo. It'll stay with the Trojans. Troike will inbound from the baseline. To your left of the Trojan basket. Gets it into Brooks. Long bounce pass to Smith. Back to Brooks. Ethan will put it on the floor, into the lane. And they're going to get an offensive foul against Brooks, pushing off against Goldston. And it's, again, Trojans trying to do too much on the individual level. Gives it back to Fort Scott. Trojans hanging on to a 1-point lead with under 2 minutes to play. First half. Trojans have led for much of this half. Goldston with it to Lafredo, trying to get it to Brown, ends up with Cousins, drives baseline, going to dribble around the world, gets it over to Kegler on the right wing, now to Lafredo at the elbow, back over to Kegler, measures up for a 3, and it's good. Fort Scott doing exactly what they want to do, Jess. They live and die with that outside shot, and right now the Trojans are letting them have it. Bourne with it, driving baseline, and he's going to be fouled by Goldston. That's his first. Second team foul on Fort Scott. Troike gets it into Dressler. Passes it off to Scott Moore, and Moore gets the shot to fall.
Dressler got caught way underneath the basket.
Yeah. I don't think Moore was ready for that first pass, but managed to gather it all up. Cousins with it, top of the key to Goldston. Over to Brown. Thought about driving. Now he'll kick it back out to Goldston. No shot clock. Under a minute to play. Trojans and Fort Scott tied at 25. Goldston outside to Brown. He'll hoist a 3 and hits. Wow. Of course.
With a hand in his face.
Only 3 he's attempted all night, and he hits it. Because apparently if you're wearing white, you can nail 3-pointers. Trojans, a bit of a frenetic possession. Troike with it. Kicks it out. Dressler for 3. Off the mark. Rebound Scott Moore. Moore to the glass, and it's good. Scott Moore cleaning up the trash down low tonight for the Trojans. Stakes them to a 1-point lead. Under 10 seconds. Goldston working against Troike. Working against Bourne. Elevates from the elbow, in and out. Scott Moore with the rebound, and his chuck is deflected. And that'll do it for the first half. Trojans leading by the thinnest of margins, 28-27. We'll step away for a quick break. We'll be back with the GN Bank halftime show. You're watching Trojan basketball on Girard Sports Live.
Family owned and operated, GN Bank has been providing customers with the highest quality of financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Whether you have personal, business, or agricultural needs, GN Bank is big enough to handle all of your banking needs, yet small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank. GN Bank, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more at gn-bank.com.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right. The first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
Hydrix, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Samsung savings. Leave notes, sync calendars, and display your photos on the new Samsung Family Hub refrigerator. Plus, get free same-day delivery. Why shop for appliances where the motto is do it yourself when you can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day?
The only thing better than our price is our service. Hydrix, Fort Scott, and Girard.
Whisper a phrase into a person's ear, then pass it on to a group of people. Notice how the message changes by the time that the last person hears it? In business, consider word of mouth in the same light. What people say may turn into something different than you would like it to be. It can't be controlled. That's why Norris Advertising provides proven ad solutions through radio, billboards, and digital sign sales, allowing your message to be controlled by the person that knows your business best. You, Norris Advertising, a proud sponsor of Trojan Athletics.
You've enjoyed life. Over the years, your community has become your passion, something you hope future generations get to experience, just as you have. That's why the Girard Area Community Foundation has worked hard to help fulfill charitable goals and inspire generosity, meeting the needs of the communities they serve. Creating a legacy fund with GACF ensures what you leave behind is an effective and lasting improvement in the community you love so dearly. Make plans to visit GirardAreaFoundation.com, preserving traditions for those who follow.
Producers Cooperative Association is the area leader in providing quality agricultural products, services, and markets. PCA has what you need to maximize your operation with a full-service agronomy department, grain origination, handling and storage, bulk fuels and lubricants, propane, a jam-packed farm store, and livestock feeds in bulk or bagged. PCA is proud to call Girard home and to support Trojan Athletics. Stop by or see more online at pcacoop.com.
Welcome back to Fort Scott, America. At the half, the Trojans trail it by 28-27 to the Fort Scott Tigers. The first half that the Trojans led most of the way and then just kind of let it slip away down the stretch of that second quarter. And for Fort Scott, the story, Jess, has really been outside shooting.
Yep, 3-point baskets. And I think the Trojans did a good job early, cutting to the basket to build a lead, and Fort Scott all of a sudden found their range there in that second quarter and pulled away just a little bit.
Fort Scott's made 6 3-point buckets so far tonight. The Trojans just won. And of their 28 points, 18 of them, coming from beyond the arc. Trojans need to do a little bit better job of getting a hand up in the face of the shooter. And our first shooter tonight was a male wearing muck boots and a face mask. And he made them all except for the one from half court, and that was a close miss, man. There was high drama here in Fort Scott for that one.
It's like what's the Will Ferrell movie when he just wanted his check?
You got me, man.
I'm drawing a blank.
You got me. Good story.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at some of those halftime stats brought to you by B&B Excavating. The numbers don't lie, dirt's heavy, so trust the guys at B&B Excavating to move what needs moving. Specializing in septic systems, water line install and repair, driveways, rock hauling, and leveling. Call B&B Excavating at 620-724-8542. First for the Fort Scott Tigers, they're led in scoring by Spencer Goldston. He's got 11, 9 of those coming from beyond the arc. And then Dirks Kegler, Cal Cousins, and Kanan Brown have 5 points each. And Dub Chipman added a bucket in transition to round out the scoring for Fort Scott. For the Trojans, they're led in scoring by Aiden Troike. He's got 8. They're led in scoring by Ethan Brooks. He's got 10. Aiden Troike's got 8. Scott Brooks has 7. And Colton Dressler has a bucket. And that'll do it for the scoring for the Girard Trojans. This is the GN Bank halftime show brought to you by GN Bank, where they've been providing customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Personal, business, or agricultural needs, turn to GN Bank. Learn more at gn-bank.com.
It was semi-pro. So anyway,
all
yeah.
right. I got it. It's a basketball movie. That applies. It's relevant. Trojans back in action Friday night at Colgan at the Field House in Pittsburgh. We'll have that one for you here on Girard Sports Live. Then Tuesday at Galena before coming back Friday, February 2nd as we host Anderson County, and that's basketball homecoming. And yes, before you ask, we'll have all that, all the ceremony, the pomp and circumstance, the magic, the majesty, all of that here on Girard Sports Live. So we'll have it. Homecoming February 2nd in Ted R. Taylor. Here at the break, the Trojans trail it by 28-27 to the Fort Scott Tigers. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back. You're watching the GN Bank halftime show on Girard Sports Live.
Thanks to your support, Kenora Eye Care has expanded. With double the space, they offer more exam rooms, larger optical selection, and extended hours to fit your schedule. And with the latest technology, they can quickly diagnose any eye-related issues. All patients are welcome at Kenora Eye Care, the clear choice for your family's vision.
Unbelievable amount of devastation. I've never seen anything like it.
We had a beautiful barn that was gone in 20 minutes.
Farm Bureau stepped up right away and said, hey, we got you, and we'll be there for you.
We were taken care of. Now we could get on to repairing and rebuilding.
I tell everybody about Farm Bureau.
We're fortunate to say we have good coverage with good people doing it.
Contact Judd, Lori, Lisa, or Amber in Girard for all your insurance needs.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a house, land, or commercial space, look no further than Lehman Realty. Locally owned and operated, Jason Lehman and his staff are ready to meet the needs of every client. When it comes to your listing, you can trust that Lehman Realty will take the time to get to know you and your property. Lehman Realty is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Learn more at www.lehmanrealty.net or call Jason at 620-724-8020.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Trojan fans can find us at 408B North Grand in Pittsburgh or call 620-232-7305. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net. When it comes to your health care, you have a choice. Choose to stay local. Choose Girard Medical Center. For over 100 years, Girard Medical Center has been a part of the community, and they work every day to meet the health care needs of those they serve. With 6 locations in southeast Kansas and an ever-expanding list of inpatient and outpatient services, you just don't have to travel anymore to get quality cutting-edge care, including many services you won't find elsewhere. Proud to serve Girard and the surrounding area. Learn more at girardmedicalcenter.com.
A partner in your fields and in your success. That's what you get with Murphy Seed. Channel seedsman Matt Murphy knows your fields and can recommend the elite seed products designed to perform in your area, maximizing the profitability of every acre. With Murphy Seed, you'll get year-round, hands-on, customized service. To learn more, call Murphy Seed at 620-249-6419. Your partner at every stage. Matt Murphy and Murphy Seed.
Trojans with the ball to start the second half. It's tipped out of bounds. They're going to say last touch by Colton Dressler. And that'll give it right back to Fort Scott. So the Trojans start the second half with a turnover. Lafredo with it, top of the key for Fort Scott. Gives it up to Goldston, being guarded by Troike. Goldston into the corner, now gives it up to Lafredo, gets it back, driving into the lane, kicks into the corner to Chipman. Now back out to Goldston, left alone, and he misses. And Scott Moore there to gather the tipped around rebound. Now Dressler bring it up the floor for Girard. Colton picks up his dribble up top to Ethan Brooks. Brooks into the lane, step through, scoop shot won't go. Rebound comes down to Kegler for Fort Scott. Quickly ahead, they get it to Lafredo. Kicks out to Chipman, back to Kegler, over to Goldston. Now back to Chipman, back to Goldston. Troyke kind of left him and now comes back, and they're going to whistle a travel against Chipman. Fort Scott turns it over. Neither team has scored yet here in the first minute 15 of this second half. Troyke with it, being guarded by Cousins. He'll get it down low to Brooks. He's in trouble and throws it to the Trojan bench, and that'll turn it back over to Fort Scott. I thought that one was tipped, huh, Jess?
I did, but not that we've thrown it to anybody. I still thought Fort Scott tipped it.
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of maroon over there on that Trojan bench, so. Kegler with it, puts it on the floor into the lane, picks up his dribble. He'll give it up to Lafredo. His little 8-footer is good. First bucket of the game for Lafredo. Fort Scott leads by 3. Troyke with it on the wing. Trojans need to generate some offense. Troyke down the lane. He's fouled and will head to the line and see if they get this one on. They're going to whistle Lafredo with this one. I have that as 3. It is 3 on Lafredo. The real post presence for Fort Scott. I don't know how deep they are on the bench when it comes to post players. It doesn't look super deep.
I think they've only been playing 6.
Troyke goes 1 of 2 from the stripe. Trojans trail it by a bucket. Chipman with it. Now Kegler will put it on the floor. Drives off the glass and good. Beat Ethan Brooks off the dribble. 7 points for Kegler. 4-point lead for Fort Scott. Dressler. Troyke into the corner to Bourne. Thought about it. Back out top to Troyke. Down the lane. Aiden throws one up off the glass. Ends up in the hands of Brooks. Back out to Troyke. He'll take the 3 and hits. 12 points for Aiden Troyke. Trojans trailing it by 1 again. They were trailed it by 1 at the break. Down low to Lafredo. Back to Kegler. His pass deflected and stolen by Brooks. Ethan over to Troyke. Off the glass. It's good. Nice feed to find Troyke trailing the play. Quickly back down the other way. His Cousins. His shot no good. Rebounded by Moore. And he tried to get it to Bourne, but it ends up with Troyke. He'll elevate at the elbow. 10-footer won't go. Rebound comes down to Chipman. Now quickly back the other way comes Goldston. Troyke trying to cut him off. His shot off the glass is good. Troyke let Chipman go, or let Goldston go to his right, which is his dominant side, and he drove right by him. 13 points for Goldston. 1-point lead for Fort Scott. This one's going to be drama down to the wire, Jess.
I'm afraid so.
Bourne with it, drives baseline and stepped on the line.
No, they're going to get a
whistle foul. Well, he did step on the line, but after some contact, they're going to whistle that one on Cousins. That's his first. Brown checks in, replacing Lafredo. They give up a little bit of size there. Brown a little bit better of a shooter, however. Over the top, get it into Moore. And his shot up and good off the glass. Just like that. Take out Lafredo and start feeding Scott Moore.
All night.
Trojans by 1. Now here comes Goldston down the lane, high off the glass. The Trojans got to find a way to cut him off, as that's the second time he's been able to get to the rack. He's got 15. Bourne, pull up, 15-footer off the mark, rebound, Dressler. Colton back at it, has it poked away. It ends up with Bourne, then to Goldston. He stepped on the line. It'll stay with Girard. If you're Colton there, Jess, I think you go up with that one. You don't try the bounce pass under the bucket.
Just go strong.
When you're defended by a smaller player. Troika to inbound. Over the top to Cam Smith, just checked into the game. Smith gives it up to Troika. He'll put it on the floor, down the lane, spinning, elevates, 10-footer, good. 16 points for Aiden Troika. Now it's the Trojans by 1. Goldston thought about a 3, now steps back and he'll take one. In and out. Rebound Cousins, and he's fouled by Ben Cullen. Trojans got to box out. 3 maroon jerseys and the 1 white jersey flies through there and gets the ball because nobody blocked him out. Got that foul on Cullen, that's his first. And that sends Cousins to the line.
Nope, they got it on the floor.
Oh, okay. So Goldston to inbound. Over the top, gets it into Chipman. Back to Goldston. Trojans need to lock him down on the perimeter. Now Kegler, guarded by Bourne. Cousins, Goldston, trying to get it down to Chipman, tipped out of bounds by Scott Moore, got in there to break that one up. Couldn't control it, it'll stay with Fort Scott. 2:43 to play, third quarter. Trojans by 1, they get it into Cousins, thought about a 3, now he'll kick it over to Goldston in the corner, who also thought about a 3 before Cullen got there with a hand up. Back out to Cousins, into the lane. Looking for help, out to Chipman. Back around to Kegler. Cousins with it, almost walked. Gives it up to Goldston, into the corner now to Chipman. Back out to Goldston. Trojans doing a better job on this possession defensively. Cousins down the lane, has it stripped away. Cullen comes away with it, throws it off Goldston, but Goldston keeps it for Fort Scott. Into the corner, open 3 for Chipman, and he hits. 2-point lead down for Fort Scott, and again, they're doing it from the outside. Trojans just can't stay home on the shooters. Cullen with it on the right side, now gets it up top to Cam Smith. Bourne in the lane, double clutch shot won't go. Rebound tipped around by Troika, and they're going to get a foul against the Trojans. I don't see how, but they do. And they're going to get Troika on the foul. I guess flying in there and getting the ball was not a legal maneuver, Jess.
Yep.
That's Aiden's first. Second team foul on the Trojans as Smith and Moore will sit. Ethan Brooks checks back into the game. Along with Dressler. Over the top to Lafredo, and Dressler didn't let him get a shot off.
That's how you foul.
Yeah. If you're going to get whistled, the other guy might as well have to get up when it's over with. I don't know. Is that kosher to say on the air? I don't know. If you're going to get your money's worth, you know, everybody likes to get their money's worth. Trojans trailing it by 2. Kegler to inbound. Over the top to Chipman, now over to Goldston, open for 3, didn't take it. Into the lane to Chipman, back out to Brown for 3, off the side of the backboard, into the hands of Kegler. He gives it up to Lafredo, and his shot is good. 4 points for Lafredo. It's been that kind of night for Girard. They're just not getting the bounces. Into the lane for Brooks. Now to the corner for Troika. Thought about a quick 3. Chipman right there on him. Gets it up top to Dressler. Back to Troika, come through the lane, poked away. Just throwing into traffic like that, it's never a good idea, and the Trojans have tried to force it a couple times. How is that not a double dribble or a walk? Then they get it back out to Kegler, now to Goldston. Back to Kegler. Chipman walked with it or double dribbled or something. That was not normal basketball there.
You can't pass it to yourself.
Yeah. Whatever. We're making up new rules tonight for basketball. Kegler with it, being guarded by Troike. Under 30 seconds. Fort Scott holding for the last shot. Trojans need to clamp down on defense. Get a hand up in the face of the shooters. No back cuts. Kegler with it. Under 10 now. Working against Troike. Puts it on the floor. Looking for help. Spinning. Gets help from the ref. And he'll head to the line. See who they got this one on. Got it on Troike. That's his second. Got caught going for the ball fake. Boy, Jess, if the Trojans can't come out of here with a win tonight, they're really going to be kicking themselves because they've had lots of opportunities and a lot of 50-50 balls that just didn't end up in their hands.
Yeah. Balls off the side of the backboard that just
bounce right to
through.
a Fort Scott guy. I mean, you know, that sort of night. Kegler hits a second. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. The Trojans look good, but end up even deeper in the hole by the end of it. They trail it by 5. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back. You're watching Trojan Basketball on Girard Sports Live.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a house, land, or commercial space, look no further than Lehman Realty. Locally owned and operated, Jason Lehman and his staff are ready to meet the needs of every client. When it comes to your listing, you can trust that Lehman Realty will take the time to get to know you and your property. Lehman Realty is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Learn more at www.lehmanrealty.net or call Jason at 620-724-8020.
Welcome back to Fort Scott. 1 quarter left to play. Trojans trailing it by 5. Let's see if they can reverse the jinx that's been on them all night tonight as far as loose balls and just, I don't know, the way the universe is spinning tonight, Jess. Get it down low to Lafredo, kicks it out. Shot on the way from Brown after a shuffle. Rinse up right in the hands of Kegler despite the 4 maroon jerseys that were down there. Brown thinks about it, down to Lafredo, off the glass, won't go, right into the hands of Kegler, and his shot is good. So there we see it on display about 3 times in a row there, and Kegler has 10. Fort Scott leads by 7. Brooks' shot won't go, and Dressler finally gets a foul there as he's battling for the rebound. They call that one on Kanan Brown. That's his first. I'm sorry, it's his second. First team foul on Fort Scott here in the fourth. Brown will take a seat. Cousins back into the game for Fort Scott. The pass for Troike tipped around. Aiden finally controls it. Steps through and he's fouled. We'll see. Fort Scott crowd wants to travel. I understand their frustration. They're going to whistle that one on Chipman. I have it as his first. It is. Second team foul on Fort Scott as Troike will shoot 2, and the free throw's important now for the Trojans coming down the stretch. First one off the mark. Troike 2 for 4 from the line tonight. And he hits a second. 6-point lead for Fort Scott. Trojans need to stop.
You're going to speed them up a little here.
Cousins with it, out to Goldston. Chipman in the corner. Going to try and trap him there. It's not a very tight trap. Out to Cousins, top of the key. Now Goldston with it. Fort Scott kind of moving it around, taking the air out of the ball. Cousins out to Goldston to Lafredo. Up top to Chipman. Out, shot on the way from Cousins, in and out. Rebound Lafredo, the putback no good. They're going to say he was fouled.
By who?
I don't know, Jess. Sometimes you just think something's going to happen, and you make it happen. Whistled that one on Dressler. I didn't see it. That's 2 on Dressler. They'll send Lafredo to the line to shoot 2. First one goes down. And the second one off the back iron. Guess what? Right in the hands of a Fort Scott player. Brown comes down with the rebound. Put back no good. Rebound Scott Moore. At least 2 chances every time down. Brooks into the lane, kicks out to Bourne, and he's going to be fouled in the lane. Coach Westcott not happy with some of the decision making tonight for the Trojans offensively as they get it into Bourne. Now he picked up his dribbles, in trouble, gets it out to Brooks, up top to Moore. Over to Troike, he'll elevate for 15 and hits. 30-second timeout. We'll stay right here and just the Trojans could just get a few 50-50 balls to go their way, or carry them off the rim or the side of the backboard or something like that, they'd be in good shape.
Yeah, I don't.
But it's just the dumb luck plays keep going to Fort Scott, and they just keep building on that lead.
Yep, and yeah, I agree. That's all I'm going to say. We can't breathe right down there. The whistle might blow. So.
Some old school Run DMC on the soundtrack in here.
Tricky.
That's for the folks our age, Jess. I think everybody's mama and grandma like that one. Your great-grandparents hated it, though, kids. I'm going to tell you right now.
Yes, they did.
Great-grandpa hated Run DMC and the Beastie Boys. Pretty much all of it. That ain't singing. Goldston gives it up to Chipman, top of the key. Round over to Cousins. The elbow, working against Bourne. Bourne trying to steal it away. Now Cousins going to drive. Kicks into the corner. Shot on the way from Chipman. Off the mark. Rebound Moore. The Trojans get a stop. Need a couple more. Need to get some points here. Brooks with it up top to Bourne. Now Troike gives it up to Dressler. Down low to Ethan Brooks. Off the mark. Force that one up in traffic. And Chipman comes away with it for Fort Scott. Chipman with it. Gives it up to Lafredo. Now Brown with it into the lane. Working against Dressler. Back to Lafredo. Back to Brown. Trojan bigs have done a good job on the post players for Fort Scott tonight. Their guards, however, shot the lights out. Chipman passes to himself. I guess it was tip. Lafredo with the top of the key, being guarded by Scott Moore. Into the lane, and they're going to get a timeout. Fort Scott, a full timeout. We'll take it as well. Trojans trailing by 5, under 5 left to play in the game. You're watching Trojan basketball on Girard Sports Live.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Trojan fans can find us at 408B North Grand in Pittsburgh or call 620-232-7305. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net. Producers Cooperative Association is the area leader in providing quality agricultural products, services, and markets. PCA has what you need to maximize your operation with a full-service agronomy department, grain origination, handling and storage, bulk fuels and lubricants, propane, a jam-packed farm store, and livestock feeds in bulk or bagged. PCA is proud to call Girard home and to support Trojan athletics. Stop by or see more online at pcacoop.com.
Fort Scott with the ball coming out of the timeout. They'll inbound from their own baseline. Pass over the top to Chipman. Now Kegler with it as the Trojans trying to step up a little bit of defensive intensity, speed this game up a little bit. Cousins gives it up to Lafredo, back to Kegler, being guarded by Ethan Brooks. Kegler into the lane, picks up his dribble, needs help, has it poked away, but right into the hands of Goldston for Fort Scott. Goldston working against Troike, gives it up to Lafredo, driving against Moore, has it poked away, right into the hands of Cousins. Now Fort Scott will reset. 4 minutes to play. No shot clock this year in high school basketball. Now Cousins with it Chipman with it in the lane, gives it up to Kegler, back to Chipman in the corner, he'll take the three. And hits. 3-point baskets have been the key in this game for Fort Scott. The Trojans haven't stopped them. Way off the mark is Bourne for three, and then they're going to get a foul on Dressler on the rebound as Kegler had position on him. Not much excuse for that, but he did. Trojans trailing it by 8. This one's starting to slip away from Girard as they can't get shots to fall, and Fort Scott can't miss from outside. Trojans content to let them shoot those outside shots as there's Lafredo under the bucket, and the little hook is good for Lafredo. He's been big here in the second half, all 7 of his points coming in the second half. Trojans trailing by 10. Troike down the lane, kicks it out to Bourne. Over to Dressler, back out top to Ethan Brooks. Spinning into the lane, out of control. Shot won't go. Rebound out of the hands of Dressler. Tipped out of bounds as Troike poked it away from Goldston. They're going to get a technical on Goldston. And the home crowd loves it.
Yep. Well, he deserved it. You can't talk to the ref like that.
Well, I asked you off the air if these refs were county commissioners here in Bourbon County, and if they are, not for long, Jess, not for long. You're upsetting your constituency. So we get Troike will shoot 2 here for the technical, and then the Trojans will get the ball. Down by 10, free throws matter here.
Could be a 4-point swing.
Troike hits first. Could be a 5-point swing, Jess. We can make some shots.
Right.
Second one off the mark. Troike keeps up the 50% free throw shooting performance. Trojans trail it by 9. They'll have the ball here. Troike will inbound from the far side. Gets it into Ransom Bourne, being guarded by Cousins. That's stolen away by Chipman. Easy breakaway layup. 10 points for Chipman. Trojans trying to do too much with the dribble. Here's Brooks off the glass, won't go. Rebound Lafredo. And it's getting out of hand now. Trojans just frustrated, can't get shots to fall. Fort Scott doing what you're supposed to do in this situation, control the ball, make each possession last a long time. Chipman had it poked away, gets it back to Cousins, down the lane to Lafredo. His shot blocked by Moore, but it's a goaltend. Lafredo's got 9 points, all in the second half. 30-second timeout. Bob Chipman wants to talk it over with his team. We'll stay right here. Trojans in trouble, Jess.
Yep, they're going to call goaltending on Scott Moore, who I think got his hand up inside the rim.
He went through the net.
Yeah.
And once you go through the net to block a shot, it's an automatic goaltend. And that's what happened there. It was a clean block, but his hand was in the net. Well, tough way for the Trojans to get this week started. Going to have a tough one on the road Friday night at Colgan.
Yeah, doesn't get any easier.
No.
And I'm not going to make any excuses, but Colton Dressler's sick, missed Thursday night. He looks at tonight. They played Thursday, Friday, did not practice Saturday, Sunday, end up canceling school on Monday. So
they should be well rested.
And it looks like maybe they are.
Yeah, like they haven't stopped resting.
Right. And that rest sometimes turns into rust.
Oh, let me tell you, buddy. Wait till they get our age. They don't know the half of it.
Yeah, they can't move after just sitting here for 30
I was going to
minutes.
say, when I try to get up out of this steel chair, it's going to be a demonstration of agony. Troike will handle up the floor for Girard. 2:10 to play in the game. Into the corner to Ranson Bourne. He'll step back to a three. No good. Rebound, Chipman. And Fort Scott could essentially just run most of the clock out here as Troike fouled Kegler coming down the floor. That's 3 on Aiden. I have it as 3 anyway. We'll see what they have here. Yep, 3. Trojans with 1 more before Fort Scott starts shooting free throws. Chipman inbound from in front of the camouflage-clad Fort Scott section. No, that's not a giant bush over there. That's a bunch of students wearing camouflage. Brought to you by Realtree. Cousins with it. Bourne guarding him. His pass out to Goldston. Working against Troike. Passes back to Kegler, being guarded by Brooks. We're down to 1:12 left to play. And Goldston's going to be fouled by Troike. That's 4 on Aiden. Cullen checks in, replacing Colton Dressler. And Cam Smith will check into the game, replacing Aiden Troike. There's some guys with some fouls to give, Jess. Lose a bit of offense there, though. As here comes Cousins across the lane. And Fort Scott really trying to take the air out of it here in the late minutes of this game. Chipman with it, being guarded by Cullen. Dribbles into the lane, and he's going to be fouled by Ben coming across the lane. And that's going to send Chipman to the line to shoot 2. That's 2 on Cullen. They've quit providing that information on the scoreboard, but I have it as 2 for Cullen. There it is. Chipman's first shot in and out.
And this is why high school sports needs a shot clock.
Yeah. Well, yeah, all basketball needs a shot clock. Or it turns into a boring version of Hoosiers. Second shot on the way from Chipman is good. Troike into the lane, passes over to Scott Moore. His shot is good. Just 4 points in the second half for Scott Moore. He's got 11. Cousins over the top to Lafredo, kicks it out to Goldston. And now Chipman with it. We're under 30 seconds. Back out to Goldston. The Trojans trailing by 12 here, just not a lot of options.
About
and
too late to
Goldston will
foul.
dribble this one out, likely. And the Trojans are going to drop just their third game of the season. That'll do it. Trojans lose by 12 on the boys' side, lose by 12 on the girls' side. And Fort Scott gets the sweep here tonight at home over Girard. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the Farmers Bank postgame show. You're watching Trojan basketball on Girard Sports Live.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of Girard schools. For generations, Farmers Bank has worked with local leaders, businesses, and residents to help shape the future of Southeast Kansas. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. As partners in business and friends in life, Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank, with locations in Hepler, Walnut, St. Paul, and Girard. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Mathis Drug continues to be the area's choice when it comes to your family's health and wellness. New ownership, but the same commitment to community you've come to expect from Mathis Drug. Now offering medication synchronization. Get all your monthly meds at the same time at the same place. Mathis Drug.
Hi, I'm Bria Scheibe, pharmacist and new owner of Mathis Drug Store. Stop in today and ask us about medication synchronization.
Mathis Drug, still locally owned and operated. Call 620-724-4313.
Chicken Annie's of Girard is something to crow about. Their family-style restaurant continues a Southeast Kansas tradition with their specialty, fried chicken, plus famous homemade onion rings and a variety of other dishes that would satisfy any cravings, even homemade pie. Besides dine-in and carry-out, Chicken Annie's of Girard also does catering in the area. Stop in on Highway 47 in Girard for a hearty meal, and follow Chicken Annie's of Girard on Facebook for specials.
I was raised in a small town, and there was a lot of people who took time to invest in me. And so when we decided to open up our offices, we want to make sure that we're pouring back into the community that's giving to us. We care. We want to be involved. We want to have a passion for what you have a passion for. We want to be able to give back. And that's the foundation. That's why we're more than just insurance.
The 15, the 10, 5, Colt McCann, his third touchdown of the game.
It's like in the net, and it'll be a point for Baldwin.
A first touch volley. The substituted freshman fights forward, across the goal line. Touchdown, Trojans.
Welcome back to Fort Scott. Trojans drop a couple of 12-point decisions to the Fort Scott Tigers tonight. Trojans boys fall to 8-3. Trojan girls at 8-3 as well, as Tigers do well on both sides tonight and get out of here with the win. Our post-game show brought to you by Farmers Bank. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. Farmers Bank looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank with locations in Hepler, Walnut, St. Paul, and Girard. And Jess, we're all looking forward to a brighter tomorrow.
Yeah.
After tonight, Trojans, no nights off coming up though. You got Colgan, you got Galena, a homecoming against an Anderson County team that's been up and down this year.
They'll be big, I'll promise you.
The top 3 spots in our sub-state, which by the way is in Caney. I'm not going to say anything about that. But top 3 spots very close. So these games coming up for the Trojans very important because there's a big difference playing the number 8 seed at sub-state versus playing the number, say, 6 seed at sub-state. You're going to get a much better opponent that first round. That first seed really has a much easier road to the state tournament if they take advantage of it. And for the Trojans, all that's going to depend on how they play here over the next few weeks.
Yeah, and honestly, Josh, I think coming off no practice and coming off it's going to sound like I'm making excuses, but we're coming off no practice and sickness. They come out here, the ball just would not bounce in their way. They maybe ISO'd it up a little too much there in the second half, but I'm telling you, I like these boys. They've impressed me night in, night out.
They've got the potential to be a very good team.
They just got to shore up maybe some of that help defense. If Fort Scott made more than 4 or 5 passes, somebody was open either under the basket or left wide open out for a 3, and Fort Scott couldn't miss. So.
They just killed us from the perimeter tonight, without a doubt. Let's take a look at some of our scoring totals brought to you by Bradshaw Collision Repair. If your car's anything short of total, take it to Bradshaw Collision Repair. Bob Bradshaw offers refinishing, paintless dent repair, glass replacement, and more. Let Bradshaw Collision Repair get you back in the game. Call 620-724-7300. First for the Fort Scott Tigers, they're led in scoring by Spencer Goldston. He finished with 15, 11 of those in the first half. Dub Chipman added 11, 9 of those in the second half. Dirks Kegler had 10, evenly split. Rocco Lafredo added 9, all of those in the second half. And then Kanan Brown and Cal Cousins added 5 points each, all in the first half to round out the scoring for the Fort Scott Tigers. For the Trojans, they're led in scoring by Aiden Troike. He had 20. Scott Moore finished with 11. Ethan Brooks had 10. And Colton Dressler added a bucket to round out the scoring for the Trojans. And Jess, kind of what you expect out of Aiden Troike, but when you only get 1 bucket out of Colton Dressler, you know the Trojans are going to have a hard time winning.
I agree, and I want to talk about Scott Moore just for 1 second. From week 1 to this week, oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, lot more sound under the basket. Finishing,
more comfortable looking for his shot.
Yep.
I mean, you can see the progression.
Yep, finishing well.
Yeah. Here. All right, so let's bring in right now Girard Trojan head coach Rod Westcott. And Coach, tough night tonight here in Fort Scott, and it just seemed like a night when the ball just didn't bounce your way, like goes off the side of the backboard right into the hands of one of their guys, or it's poked away, it ends up right in the hands.
I know the one you're talking about there.
Yeah.
We went to the zone, and guys, finally got them to miss a few, and then they got 3 offensive boards on us there and 2 trips to the zone.
Right. Yeah.
So had to get back out of that, but I'm going to give them a lot of credit. They got a good team. That's the best team we've seen this year. They play together really well. They move the ball. And they really did to us what I'd like to see us do to teams, and that's just move the ball. And they wore us out on defense chasing them.
Well, and it doesn't hurt that they shot the ball so well from beyond the arc.
Well, they got nice players. I mean, we started out trying to take the drive away, and, boy, they were really getting to the rim on us. So we backed off them a little bit, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 I think they hit 3 trays there. So we got to tighten back up on that, and then they're getting to the rim on you again. We switch defenses up, and they're solid. They're solid. They don't have many weak spots out there, and you got to guard everybody because all of them can shoot it, and they got 6 kids that can score the ball. So we learned some things tonight. I think it was a good game. I feel better about this loss right now than about us the way we played last week. We played better tonight, and that says a lot because we haven't practiced. We weren't able to go yesterday with school being out, and didn't need to be out on the road. They were bad. So, But I was proud of our kids tonight. I thought we played hard. They wore us down a little bit there in that second half and kind of got away from us. But you got to give them some credit for that as well.
All right, well, looking forward, Friday night on the road at Colgan. Always a good rivalry game between your two teams whenever they face off. What do you expect to see out of the Panthers?
Yeah, it won't get any easier. We got this tough week for us. I think they've got one loss right now. Carl Junction beat them earlier in the year. I know they had Frontenac tonight. I don't know how that one turned out, but they're solid. They'll be real similar to what these guys are. Good with the ball, and we'll have to be solid ourselves. We'll have a work cut out for us, but it's a tough grind. But this is the first time we'll see them, and then I think this is our last league game that we have not seen, and then we'll play them again later in February. So
yeah, and then you got Galena on the road Tuesday night, and then homecoming against Anderson County. And I took a look at the sub-state standings as they are right now. It's pretty tight up there at the top of that bracket.
It is. You don't ever want to look ahead that far, but everyone's important. Everyone's important, and we're short a game right now with the tournament only having 3 teams in it. So it'll come down to percentages and things like that. But we can't worry about that right now. We need to worry about getting our legs back under us tomorrow and getting back in the gym and shooting the ball some and figuring out where we want to be on the offensive end and defensive end of the floor, and hopefully we'll come out Friday and play a little better. If we keep playing a little better each night, then Sub-State will take care of itself.
All right, Coach, thanks for coming up and talking to us tonight. Trojans dropped this one to the Fort Scott Tigers by 12. They'll fall to 8-3 on the season. Trojans back in action Friday night at the Field House at St. Mary's Colgan. We'll have that for you here on Girard Sports Live. And then the Trojans Tuesday night on the road at Galena before Friday night they host Anderson County for basketball homecoming. So Trojans will have to overcome some distractions that come along with homecoming that night. I think Coach is making fun of my hat right now. We'll step away for a quick break, and we'll come back and put a bow on this one from Fort Scott. You're watching Trojan Basketball on Girard Sports Live.
Roto-Rooter is proud to serve Girard and the surrounding area, offering sewer and drain cleaning, as well as septic and grease trap pumping 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From toilet clogs to video inspections, sewer line repairs to complete replacements. To make an appointment, call 620-231-5630. Roto-Rooter is now owned by GHS alum Braden Peak and GMS teacher Heather Peak, and they are proud to support the Trojans. Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630. See their ad in names and numbers.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Missing that human touch with your bank? Come talk to a real person at Community National Bank and Trust. We're your local bank that's small enough to know you, yet big enough to offer the best products. Community National Bank and Trust, federally insured, locally awesome. Member FDIC.
A partner in your fields and in your success. That's what you get with Murphy Seed. Channel seedsman Matt Murphy knows your fields and can recommend the elite seed products designed to perform in your area, maximizing the profitability of every acre. With Murphy Seed, you'll get year-round, hands-on, customized service. To learn more, call Murphy Seed at 620-249-6419. Your partner at every stage. Matt Murphy and Murphy Seed.
You've enjoyed life.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of Girard schools. For generations, Farmers Bank has worked with local leaders, businesses, and residents to help shape the future of Southeast Kansas. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. As partners in business and friends in life, Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank, with locations in Hepler, Walnut, St. Paul, and Girard. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
When it comes to your health care, you have a choice. Choose to stay local. Choose Girard Medical Center. For over 100 years, Girard Medical Center has been a part of the community, and they work every day to meet the healthcare needs of those they serve. With 6 locations in Southeast Kansas and an ever-expanding list of inpatient and outpatient services, you just don't have to travel anymore to get quality, cutting-edge care, including many services you won't find elsewhere. Proud to serve Girard and the surrounding area. Learn more at girardmedicalcenter.com.
Our whole vision of becoming the 4-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part. That's what makes us different.
Welcome back one final time to Fort Scott, Kansas. Trojans lose by 12 on the girls' side, lose by 12 on the boys' side. Fort Scott gets the sweep tonight. Both Trojan teams fall to 8-3. Back in action Friday night at the Fieldhouse in Pittsburgh against St. Mary's Colgan, as the Trojans kind of settle back into league play for the stretch down the road here towards Sub-State. Really only a couple teams not in the league that they're going to see. One of them, Anderson County, coming up that first week of February. I believe it's February 2nd. The Trojans will have him for homecoming. Yep, Friday, February 2nd. Trojan basketball homecoming. They'll host Anderson County for that one. Trojans sitting in first place for their sub-state, currently at 8-3, just a hair above Riverton, who is 7-3 coming into this broadcast tonight. Galena at 6-5, Baxter at 7-6, Columbus 4-6, Frontenac at 3-7, and then the host school Caney Valley at 3-8, and then Cherryvale at 1-8 to round out the Caney sub-state. So the Trojans, in order to keep that number 1 seed, they're going to have to finish strong down the stretch. You got a home matchup, a road matchup against Galena, a home matchup against Riverton, a couple games against Colgan. So some tough ones. One more road contest at Frontenac. So some tough games coming up in the next few weeks for the Trojans as they get set for sub-state action in Caney. And we'll have that for you here on Girard Sports Live. But a couple of losses tonight for the Trojans. Back in action Friday night. We'll see you at the Fieldhouse. For Jeff Murphy, I'm Josh Lettner saying thanks for joining us. You've been watching Trojan basketball on Girard Sports Live.